G.com. I'm Justin Grossweiner.
KORE Springfield, Eugene. I'm Danny Havel. You can listen to me on The Drive weekdays from 3 to 6 on The Sports Animal Eugene.
Dude, I am totally stoked.
It's about time.
My God! Okay, it's happening.
Are you ready? Are you ready? I just got three things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your...
You're listening to Oregon's premier afternoon sports show. This is The Drive.
Welcome, friends. A Friday edition of The Drive. We've made it to the end of the week. The air is getting clearer by the minute, and you got the weekend staring you right in the face. But hang out with us for a little while. Why don't you sit a spell? Here on the Sports Animal, we are Danny, Steve, and Justin. Your team, the A-team in sports radio on the #1 radio station in the Valley, out on the coast at KNCU, Fox Sports, Newport. Hello, all the ships at sea. Big program for you today. A lot of audio from Oregon State practice. Mitch Dolan. We're going to hear the offensive coordinator. We're going to hear from Mike McIntyre, the defensive coordinator. We're going to hear from Kevin Griffin, as well as a couple of players, I believe. Looks like we got there. Travis Rooke-Ley from Ducks Rising is going to be in this first hour. Chris Hampton audio from Oregon practice. Jeff Lyle to recap the Springfield Drifters season. Starts us off in hour number 2. We'll have a lot of fire, and, of course, we'll end the show with big bets. Yeah, baby, and the redemption tour possibly for Goose. All right, boys, how we feeling today? Huh? I'm just laying out. How we feeling?
Not great about big bets, but let's give it a shot.
We can roll on from there. You got this, man. I have confidence in you. I believe in you.
Batting 200 right now, so that's Caleb Durbin of the Red Sox was hitting like 200 a month ago, and now he's hitting like 350 and leading them to 30 wins in 35 games. So maybe I'll be the Caleb Durbin of big bets.
So Baby J brought up a great point when we go through our big bets. Is I didn't put a game in there that he thought for sure I was going to put a game in there, but I here's what I did though. I wanted to make sure I wasn't baiting Goose because you don't kick a guy when he's down.
The guy that baits us all the time.
Well, okay. Have you ever heard the phrase "do unto others as you wish to be done upon you"? Then
I like it. Taking the high road.
Absolutely, we have to, especially with Goose when he gets competitive.
Well, you guys know I can't win at anything, so it's it's not
stop
good here.
that.
So what were you gonna put? The Royals or the Royals? Was there a Royals game you were gonna put
of
on
course
for
there
me?
was a Royals game. Go look at the schedule and see who your Royals are playing. I wasn't going to do that for you. Okay, we got some other things to talk about today. And by the way, the phone number is right out there for you. It is the Oregon Man Clinic's hotline at 541-844-3484, 877-844-3484. Big news coming up in the 5 o'clock hour. We'll let you know about what Monday's program is going to be and where it's going to be. And some big stuff next week as well. We're going to be making some announcements, and we're going to be out live for the first time with the show. Although you won't be here, Goose. We'll talk about that in the 5 o'clock hour.
Okay.
Because you're taking the kid
I got some
to
stuff.
college.
I got some. Yeah, and I got a golf trip. I got a couple things coming up. But yeah, middle of next week till that. I've got a.
By the way, you didn't invite me on the golf trip.
Well, it's an annual. It's an annual. I'll tell you more about it at some point. It's a cool deal. Smoking Joe Freeman is on the trip.
Really?
He's part of the group.
Okay.
Jason Quick from The Athletic. So we have some.
I
have some celebrities.
I know what this is.
We
This
have
is
some
like the
celebrities.
old writers getting together and doing some
Yeah, partially, but no, it's some buddies getting together to honor a fallen friend.
I remember
do that
seeing
next
this
week.
from last year, so
Correct.
congratulations on getting everybody together yet again. Baby Jay, you're going to go see Mama this weekend?
I am.
Take it?
We're gonna finally see The Odyssey and Obsession. We've been waiting to watch those.
You got to
together
watch them
for
in
a
the
while.
theater.
Yeah, we're gonna
In the
watch
theater.
in theater for sure for for the Odyssey, which I've heard mixed reviews about. My mom has been loving it because she's a literary professor, and apparently there's a big literary debate of like the heavyweights that are going at it on whether or not it was a good adaptation or not. So it's been a very entertaining time for her, and I'm excited to go watch it and see what all the hype's about. Right?
Yeah. Well, I'm going to be here at the radio station on Saturday night because the girls, I have not been invited to girls' night at my mom's house, apparently. So my wife and my daughter are going over there. They're probably going to be like painting toenails and stuff I wouldn't want to be involved with anyway. So I will be here, and Baby J can go see Mom.
Which I very much appreciate. You were not invited to your own house?
No, it's over at Grandma's house.
All right. Well, that was it was a little.
That's
confused there.
appropriate. Yeah. No, so I'll be here. I mean, she lives right down the road. Portland Fire. That's going to be this weekend. They are coming off a nice win. It was a 14-point win last night. We talked about that during our Sports Bites today. Other topics today: college football playoff announces the top 3 seeds can select their bowl path. We'll discuss that. Agree or disagree with Joe Klatt's top 10 quarterbacks? Meh. I think we probably just do top 5. I don't know. USC top Washington as Oregon's biggest rival this season. This Dan Lanning or Mount Rushmore, honestly, the old radio guy in me just says the easiest thing to do when you have nothing to talk about is, hey, who's your Mount Rushmore?
What's a Dan Lanning Mount Rushmore?
So he was asked a question by a group, I think it was Journey Media, about his all-time Mount Rushmore of Duck legends. It's not a horrible topic, but it's just like it's lazy radio as far as I'm concerned. But we're going to talk about it because Dan Lanning responded, and we're going to hear what Dan Lanning's response was off the top of his head. And it might be interesting.
We did a deal at the paper like 10 years ago, the Mount Rushmore of Oregon quarterbacks. And we did a good job because we involved, we had a fan vote, and we actually had some real meetings and kind of came up with it. It was kind of fun.
That's better.
But I'm with you that,
Middle of summer, you start hearing the Mount Rushmore
Hall of Fame
conversation.
stuff for me, right? Put that in there with Hall of Fame for me in terms of
I'm trying, guys. I'm trying.
No. Hey, see, don't take it personally. It's just, it's me, but I think the Dan Lanning's answers a couple of them were interesting.
Well, and you ask a guy who's been here for 5 years and is 40 years old about it when you probably should be asking Ken Woody, who's 107 years old and has seen 105 years of Oregon football.
What I was with you when I got the phone message from Woody.
Yep.
And he leaves.
Which one? Which of the 3 calls are you talking about?
The first one. And he leaves the voicemail. He goes, "Hey Doc, Mr. Excitement here." Just like, okay, Ken, love you, brother.
If you're wondering if you're driving behind him, he is the one with the license plate that's MREX. It's Mr. Excite. I don't know exactly how he does it.
I didn't realize that.
If there's a car in front of you that says it spells out Mr. Excite, that's Ken Woody.
That's Ken Woody. That's great. We are live from the Bigfoot Beverages Studios. Thanks again. If you're on YouTube, dial us up as well. You can put any comments in there. We'll flash them on the screen if they're appropriate, and we'll read them out as well. Did you guys see that there was the World Championships of homemaking today?
That's a thing.
I missed that one.
It's on ESPN, so obviously it's legitimate. There's like a bed making contest, mop and vacuum relays, towel folding, and art. This is a real thing. I am not making this up. Trash can and sponge relays. Just wondering how this group would fare.
Quite honestly,
in any of those.
If I turned it on, I wouldn't have watched it anyway. So I didn't see it, but I didn't know it was on either.
So yeah, that was going on as I was flashing around. I was trying to find some. I've been kind of watching a little bit of the softball. The kids, Little League softball. It's been pretty good.
Some of those girls look like they might be a Danny Almonte thing. There was a pitcher that looked like she was not 12 years old and under, but maybe she was.
So OSU has been rolling through their fall practices, just like Oregon is. We'll hear from some of the coaches, some of the players, athletic director from Oregon State, and Chris Hampton, the new defensive coordinator for the University of Oregon, later on this hour. But let's start out with you have a Mitch Dolan story for us. So he's the new offensive coordinator. Yes. Never been an offensive coordinator before.
No, I think he was an analyst. I don't even know if he's been a full-time assistant. I believe he was an analyst at Alabama with
Jamarcus Shepard, with Coach Shepard. So we'll hear from him in just a moment. But you've got a tie-in with the Dolan family.
For folks who don't know,
surprise.
Mitch Dolan is from Redmond, which is really cool. That Jamarcus comes back and he happened to work with a guy who was from Redmond, so we brought him in. But yeah, so Mitch Dolan's father, Chris Dolan, is an accountant in Redmond. but his first job out of college, his father played football at Oregon State, I believe, was as a entry-level accountant at Nygaard, Mims, and Hoffman up in Portland, which was my father, Burke Mims, was one of the partners in that. And so I remember him saying, hey, we got this guy who played football at Oregon State. And this is, again, I was probably, I don't know, 10, I don't want to age Chris Dolan, but I was probably 10, 11 at the time. And it was like, cool, you got somebody from the Beavers playing there. And so he would talk about that a lot. My father passed away in 2019, but he would talk about it a lot. And I remember my sister lives in Bend when Mitch Dolan and his brother were good. His brother played basketball at Oregon State.
Yeah.
They would be like, hey, these Dolan kids are really good. Remember their father worked with dad. And so it would always be there. And then I have another friend in Redmond, and he would mention that, hey, he's out of Alabama now, and talk to him and this and that. And then when he got the Oregon State job, it was really cool. I know my dad would have been very. My dad loved Oregon State, Portland. He loved all the schools. He didn't have it. He just loved Oregon teams, but he would have loved the idea that his former employee's son is now the OC there. So yeah, shout out to Chris Dolan, Mitch Dolan, and the legacy that started at Nygaard, Mims, and Hoffman up in Portland.
Goose, the more I get to know you, and we've known each other for a while, but the more I get to know you better, especially doing this program, I am now convinced that we need to rename the 6 degrees of separation for Kevin Bacon to the 6 degrees separation from Steve Mims. I swear you know everybody, or there is a connection to a connection to a connection. It's fantastic. It just means you've been around and talked to a lot of people and have associated with a lot of people.
And as people always say, it means I'm old because there've been a lot of years to get to know people. It means I'm getting older. But yeah, well, when you're a journalist in this town, you talk to everybody, and so yeah, everybody's if you're bringing a guy who's been a sports writer in this town for 25 years in to be on a sports show, there's a pretty good chance that anybody that we're talking to there is a connection to. But
so
it's awesome.
I'm going to say it out loud and see if I can make it in reality. Could we try and get Bob or Ron on here?
Clark or Bellamy?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Ron would come in a heartbeat.
What about Bob Welch? Is he still around here?
Bob Welch? Oh, yeah. He does some stuff. He's got a Substack. He did some stuff for Lookout recently.
Can you reach out to some of those guys and see if we can get them in here?
Oh, absolutely.
I would just love to hear some twisting stories and stuff because they've got a ton of them.
Yeah. No, Bellamy would be a great one to have in. Yeah, we can certainly
let's do that. Let's get them scheduled.
Sounds good.
All right, Baby J, let's dive into this. Mitch Dolan, of course, offensive line for both schools is going to be a question, Oregon and Oregon State. Not so much for Oregon, except the kerfuffle that Dan Lanning is trying to put down about, am I going to have 7 or 8 guys in rotation? But for Oregon State, obviously, it's a total rework. So Mitch Dolan addresses his O-line group.
Quite a few guys not available in the spring.
Oh, the presence just alone with Bolton and those guys coming back is like you kind of feel like we're like the whole unit's there, and a lot of that is just that senior leadership, those guys that have been around, and he's obviously seen the ups and the downs, but since I've been here, he's kind of been the voice of reason with that unit and really the offense. Like he was in my office day one of being here, so seeing him actually physically do something, I was like, oh yeah, he can play. So that's been great, and then really the offensive line. What we're doing right now is I'm grading it by the 5 best. Like we'll grade them individually, but I want to see the 5 best guys that play together. So kind of what I mentioned in the spring is we're grading the center on that. Now I'm grading the best 5. So we're having stats of whatever those 5 numbers are, 5 jersey numbers. Whoever has the most yards per rush, I'm like, okay, that's a unit that's moving the ball. So that's how we're doing it there. But Nate Elu doing a phenomenal job. Tim Mateo doing a phenomenal job. Tico Schultz put on a lot of weight, so it's a credit to CR. I'm sure he's probably 50 pounds, so he's getting close to 300. And so though that unit really is, I mean, that's the culture of your team. It really is, and those guys have came together. So it's fun for me because I just get to scream at them and they respond. Like those guys, like T-Volt hit me today, and I was not ready for it. I was kind of on a heel, so I almost went down, but I stayed up. So no, it's a blast coaching those guys there.
The youth of Oregon State's coaching staff.
Another talker. We got another good talker.
Right.
This whole staff just is an incredible media group. I want to go back in time and be the Oregon State beat reporter because these guys are awesome.
So you know how they say there's only one ball? Well, there's only one microphone, so they got to share the microphone.
And if we could skip forward in those list of quotes that we got here, I thought it was really interesting hearing him talking about the numbers. And this is something we talked a little bit about with Angie. We've talked a little bit about with John about how this staff is really using a lot of data and a lot of analytics. And they're talking about, hey, we see guys in practice and we think they're having a good practice, but the numbers say this. What do you guys kind of think about that idea that they're using numbers to this level?
What do I think of that?
No, I'm asking you guys.
Well, here's the thing. We've talked about this with plenty of coaches as well, and I think data is great. I think that there still has to be a component of using your gut because data cannot factor in every single thing that will happen or could happen, like what happened the play before or what the weather's like or which way the wind's blowing or such. So data's a good base point, but that's where, if it was just straight data and you could spit it out and say this is the play that's going to be successful, then what do you have a coach for?
Yeah, and we don't see a lot of data in terms of offensive line. Normally it's stats for the others. So if they're compiling that, I'm sure those guys like it because normally they lose all their all the stats go to the skill positions, and the PFF does offensive line stuff, but I'm sure those guys love it if there's some numbers that pop up for them.
Well, let's hear his explanation on the numbers in competition.
The numbers really will tell the truth. Like the how you feel off the field, like Shep literally just said, is what you think that practice was, and then you watch the tape, it doesn't always match up. So having numbers to it and understanding, like when we track bad decisions, I'm tracking quarterback bad decisions, and where did they happen? Did they happen on 7-on-7? Did they happen in a team setting? Did they happen versus pressure? And then same thing with the missed assignments. We track missed assignments to mean, okay, if this kid struggled on our second install and he had 6 MAs, maybe we need to go back to that second install with that kid. So it's a way that we make sure no one gets left behind. It's just the same thing we do with academics and strength and all that stuff. Is if your numbers start to trend in the wrong direction, our job as coaches is to address it. And the numbers piece of that is a great way to do it, not just be like, I think he had a bad day. No, you technically did on paper, or you did have a good day and your numbers back it up.
Mitch Dallin, the offensive coordinator from Oregon State. A couple more from him before we move on to the defensive side of the football, and an actual polar opposite of Mitch Dallin, who's coming in as a fresh-faced new offensive coordinator besides the grizzled vet that is Mike McIntyre on the defensive side of the football.
Who I remember from covering when he was a Colorado head coach, and he's a good talker too. So I think the guy, I haven't heard Mike yet on this thing, but he was a good talker during his time. Let me also just say with Mitch Dallin, I'm glad nobody's tracking my bad decisions.
Same here. I picked up on that as well. And who says somebody's not tracking your bad decisions?
Yeah, maybe somebody is. But at least I have.
Do you have a wife?
I have a wife. I haven't seen the spreadsheet yet. Maybe she has a spreadsheet, but I haven't seen it.
The Sports Animal, 102.9 FM, 1050 AM in the Valley, and out on the coast at 92.7 FM KNCU. It's Danny, it's Steve, it's Justin. Let's get back to Mitch Dallin. Any contingency, because we talked about this yesterday or the other day with Angie Machado, for a possible Van Wells return?
That one's still honestly, it's a daily deal where I'm in fall camp. So I'm like, the kids on the field I'm coaching, like he's a good player, but if they're not between the white right now, I'm like, I'm not slotting him anywhere. I'm like, the kids that are out there in the white, I'm gonna coach my ass off to get him there, and then whoever does show up in the door, we'll figure it out. So you mentioned you were in the portal. If he comes in the door, shoot, I'll coach him out there. So that's kind of how I view it.
And finally, with Coach Dallin, and this is going to be the biggest question because there's really not a lot of tape because he has not been an OC before. What's the offensive identity going to be?
For me, it's not as much scheme. I told our guys the other day, it's like, I want people to turn on our film and I want them to be shocked at how hard we play. Effort alone. The scheme can be on the side, but I want them to be shocked by how hard we play. So it's effort and urgency, and it's an urgency to get it done now. We don't have time to wait. We really have 16 practices of fall camp before we kind of move on into the next phase of situational football and all that stuff. So the urgency of it's there, and then it's the violent nature. I mean, it's the violent nature. We play a violent sport. We really do. So I watched the World Cup a little bit and all the flops and stuff. I'm like, how is this getting rewarded? Like the yellow card, it was over my head. So for me, is with that group, is violence will be celebrated.
I figured you'd like that, Goose.
Violence will be celebrated.
I told you, I mean, my history with him, I liked him before I've heard him. I am put me at the top of the Mitch Dallin fan club at this point. I am all in on that dude. If I was hired tomorrow as an AD at a G5 school, I'm bringing him in as my head coach. I think that's really, I mean, again, he seems really comfortable for a guy who's the first time speaking to the media, because in his past roles that wouldn't have been. That seems like a dude who's pretty comfortable in that spot, and I would like that as an OC. A lot of times, again, you ask, like, is Van Wells come back? A lot of coaches, well, we're not going to get into anything that isn't, and he's like, hey, if he goes walking through this, he kind of expands on it.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was great. I'm all in on Mitch Dallin.
Mitch Dallin, the new offensive coordinator, or a new staff at Oregon State. Someone who is a little bit more long in the tooth is Mike McIntyre. And when you take a look at his coaching career spanning from 1990 to the present. Yeah, add it up. That's 36 years now. He started out as a GA at Georgia. He's had head coaching stops in Colorado and Florida International, a total of, I think, 6 or 7 years as a head coach, a defensive coordinator at Ole Miss and Memphis and Duke. He was coaching DBs and for the Jets and the Cowboys. So he brings a lot of experience to that side of the football, and here's his early impressions of his new defense.
Yeah, they're flying around and competing, and our offense does a good job. They do a lot of different formations, which really helps us get aligned and do those type of things. So we did get some takeaways, but there's also always takeaways on the other side of, making sure we're in line right, make sure our eyes are in the right place. And then when we put pads on, we're working with our hands, we're doing all that, but leverage and that type of thing is extremely important. So we'll see that on Saturday.
And it's early, right? So we haven't gotten to the point yet where I think you can really make any grand conclusions about this defense, but it is some good early signs, it sounds like. But one of the questions was, is this going to be a complicated defense for you guys? We hear about defenses and how they can have all these schemes. A lot of times it's adjustments more than base formations and anything, but here's his thoughts on if it's a complicated defense.
No, we're not real complicated. We'll try to do multiple things to make the offense think it's complicated, but we'll be doing a lot of the same things. We categorize everything we do. I'm not going to tell you the categories have, but we have a category for this coverage, a category for this coverage, a category for this front. So when they hear those words, it gives them a picture of exactly what they're supposed to do. They don't have to memorize a whole bunch of things. They just learn these different categories, and we have different names and different things that we use that signify that category. We might have 5 calls in that category. Well, there's a category, they all relate names to each other, so now they're able to do different things. Different guys might be doing it, but it's in that category.
He does not sound like he's from Redmond, Oregon.
No. No, you got that one. Ding, 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 ding.
That didn't have a Redmond tie. I don't think he grew up around Mitch. So, but like you say, he's been around a lot of places and was really good at San Jose State.
Yep.
He was the head coach that year that Colorado had a breakthrough. We thought it was the breakthrough with Jim Leavitt. It wasn't a breakthrough. Then they ended up coming back down to earth and kind of the one good year that Colorado had between Gary Barnett and that 2 years ago with Dion was the Mike McIntyre year, but then it went south again quickly.
And what's interesting about this, and we got to head to break, is Mike McIntyre was not apparently the first choice for Jamarcus Shepard. Had different DC in there right from the beginning and then left right away. And luckily for Jamarcus Shepard, that's a home run hire. Hopefully it is a home run fire for Oregon State. All right, we come back. Kevin Griffin, the new AD, is on campus in Corvallis. We'll hear from him about the Pac-12 and about the Protect College Sports Act. Dylan Lane, Cornell Hatcher, Tyler Bolton. We'll try to get to all those players as well. Bottom of the hour, Travis Rooke-Ley from Ducks Rising NIL will join us here on The Drive.
1050 AM and 1029 FM and the sportsanimaleugene.com. Broadcasting from the Bigfoot Beverages Studios. You're listening to The Drive on the Sports Animal Eugene.
Iconic summer moments deserve an iconic drink. Reach for Mountain Dew, an American original. From its beginnings in the foothills of Tennessee to your biggest summer yet. The refreshing citrus kick of Mountain Dew is the perfect companion to your American summer adventures. Enjoy the refreshing citrus kick of Mountain Dew. Tasting great since '48. Look for Mountain Dew in stores near you at mountaindew.com. That's mountaindew.com.
Oh, no.
Wait, man. We're from Discount Windows, the home of no pressure.
Last guy could learn from you.
That bad, huh?
He's pushing 4 years, the same as cash, with installation, prices so high, it'd take me at least 4 years to pay it off.
What the?
His other offer was no payments for 2 years.
Who wants that hanging over their head?
Plus, life happens.
Right?
At Discount Windows, our installation is often a fraction of their price, and we offer 18 months, same as cash, on approved credit.
Spend less, pay it off sooner, and move on with your life.
I love it.
And we have a great selection of Energy Star certified Milgard windows and Milgard doors.
I got coffee brewing.
To throw at that last guy?
Discount Windows, open 7 days a week. We're at 1635 Juniper in Junction City, right behind our old lot. We have your Milgard windows and doors on site.
Discount Windows.
We do windows,
doors,
and installation for less.
CCB 180018.
All bets are on at the Three Rivers Casino Resort Sportsbook in Florence. Bet 24/7 at our kiosks or download the brand new Sportsbook app today and get $10 in free bets. Place wagers right from your mobile device while you relax in your room, hit the casino floor, or grab a bite. Then catch the action on Oregon's largest sports betting screen. Visit threeriverscasino.com/sportsbook to learn more. The Sportsbook at Three Rivers Casino Resort. Winning starts here.
The next disaster is coming. The time to get ready is now. Make a plan. Identify meetup locations and people you'll need to contact. Put your contact list in your wallet, on your phone, and somewhere visible in your home. Build a kit. Store enough food and water for 3 days. Don't forget your pets. And consider buying a pre-made kit. Keep at least 7 days of medication on hand. Work with your pharmacist and insurance company to secure the extra doses. Make copies of important documents. Keep them on your phone, in the cloud, or on a USB stick. Stay informed. Learn about local hazards. Take courses in CPR and first aid. And sign up for local alert systems. An early warning can give you the time you need to prepare for a fast-moving disaster. Be ready. Learn more at americares.org/sendusin.
1050 AM, 1029 FM, and the sportsanimalueugene.com. Other stations can say they cover the Ducks and Beavers, but we bring the receipts. You're listening to The Drive on the Sports Animal Eugene.
Drive's expanding, and we'll talk about that in the 5 o'clock hour, along with big bets as we wind up our Friday shows. Presented by Coquel Casino and Resorts, our good friends. We're going to be down there in a couple of weeks for MMA fights and some more fun and frivolity from our friends at Coquel Casino and Resort. But you can save the phone number. It's the Oregon Anklings hotline at 541-844-3484, toll-free 877-844-3484, and you can bet against us as we pick games. And we have a whole staff now. We have a whole staff that's picking games. They don't have anything better to do with their time except pick games with us.
I just noticed I didn't even realize the Royals and the Cubs were playing this week, but thanks for not putting it on because that probably
see how nice see how gracious I am.
Yes.
Okay.
I appreciate your kindness is appreciated.
Kevin Griffin is the new athletic director. Came from Ohio State, business marketing background. He's raised a ton of money in Columbus, and now he is the new athletic director, replacing Scott Barnes in Corvallis. And this audio that I'm seeing right here in front of me, Baby J, says Pac-12 games, all national TV games.
That's what he said. He said all the Pac-12 games are going to be national TV games.
I thought they were on the CW or something like that.
That's national.
Oh, where?
Nationally.
I couldn't tell you what channel it is on my station here in Eugene, but I do know it's a national because they did ACC games last year, so that's a national company.
Well, our good friend Ted Robinson has been calling games on the CW. We had him on the other show quite a bit, so let's hear what the new athletic director says about those Pac-12 national TV games.
One of the things that has been a highlight of my early time here working with the Pac-12 is, and I think you all know this, but I want to make sure that we get the word out, that every single one of our football games will be broadcast on national television. And that is an incredible opportunity for us at Oregon State, everyone here in the Valley and in Corvallis, to showcase what we have here at the university. So our broadcast partners from a Pac-12 standpoint, between the CW, CBS Sports Network, and USA, will broadcast all of our games. So that's a really unique opportunity. In fact, in my time in college athletics, I've never worked for an organization or a team that had every single game broadcast across the entire country. So kudos to Teresa and everyone there at the Pac-12 office for making sure that that's happening for us. We got to take advantage of it. It's really important that we have all of our fans in the stands for all of our games. We have some work to do around our ticket sales for our home games, but it's still early and we've got some weeks to go. But it's important that we have our fans show up.
So our good buddy Hurricane Nick Sams, one of the proprietors of Laurelwood Golf, just texted me, and I have to say it because it's just so funny, because when I made the sarcastic comment about the CW and national, he comes back and says, "What nation is the CW in?"
I'm just curious. Ohio State's games weren't all on national television. He just said no place I've been at has every
Yes,
game
they
on
were.
national TV.
Big Ten Network is national.
That's his national. I mean, they have games on Mountain West or MW Plus. I'm not sure what that is. Maybe that's Mountain West Plus because they play UTEP on MW Plus.
Yeah, that's
that
Mountain
must be
West
Mountain
Plus.
West Plus. But that's streaming, so it's national. But Ohio State had to have every game
They
on
did.
national TV.
I don't know. I find that it's listen. He's pumping up the Pac-12. That's fine,
And they
I
have
have no problem with that.
And I assume that's USA Network, USA Sports.
Yes.
Because they have 7 games that are on USA Sports, so I
Yes.
assume that's USA Network.
Absolutely.
And then they have one on CBS Sports Network, one on the CW, one on MW Mountain West Plus, and then their first two, which we talked about yesterday, are ESPN and CBS because those are against Big 12.
And that game on the CW right before the new sitcom, the new cop sitcom, Doc and the Bear.
That's
gonna be
Oregon.
coming up.
That's Texas State at Oregon State on November 7th.
Ooh.
7:30 p.m.
That'd be great. That's a great game. Maybe the guy from
You know who's
Get,
going to be
Get
there?
Bent- the guy from Get Bent's going to be there.
Yep, the guy from Win Big or Get
We
Bent
need
will
to talk to
certainly
this
be
guy.
coming.
All right, now
need to talk to him.
we're going to
We
talk
mentioned
into
him like
existence.
4 times.
We'll have him on the show November 6th.
Talk about making an impression, right?
And you know what? We're probably going to fall in love with him. He's probably going to
I'm
be
sure
one of the
he's great.
best interviews that we've ever
he's
had.
great.
All right, let's hear a little bit more from Kevin Griffin now. The Protect College Sports Act, they've been trying to address one-time transfer rules and such like that. They're trying to push that through Congress. And here's Mr. Griffin's opinion on that.
What we like most about the Protecting College Sports Act is that it really helps us start to clarify for our student athletes that they have one time to transfer without penalty. And it's important for us because we are trying to make covenants with our student athletes, not contracts. What I mean by that is we want our student athletes to stay here. We want to have relationships when we recruit them in high school, and we want them to be here and graduate as Beavs, and then we want them to continue their relationship with us as their alums.
And I think that's all great things to be pointed towards. And speaking of soon-to-be alums, Dylan Lane, linebacker, as we move back now quickly to the field, you just heard from Kevin Griffin here on the Sports Animal. We are The Drive here for a Friday Big Bets coming up in the 5 o'clock hour, live from the Bigfoot Beverages studios. Dylan Lane says that, and I think this is probably going to be prevalent throughout the entire team. Let's see how long it's sustained. They are all motivated to prove all of the doubters wrong.
Good question. I mean, I think we have a lot to prove, as is, the guys that were here last year, they obviously didn't get the results that they wanted. So a lot of people are doubting us, whether you like it or not. People think maybe we're not going to be as good just because of what we've done in the past. And within the building, we're very, very motivated to prove people wrong, but prove ourselves right, because we put in a lot of work. We've brought in a lot of great talent. The guys that chose to stay, the key contributors, like guys like Takari and Sai, like those guys are motivated to, put it on for the city again and bring, like I said, pride back to Corvallis. So
I think it's great that we finally got some Dylan Lane audio because we've heard so much about like, oh, this guy's great, and you just
very
talk
eloquent, yes.
100%. So you can tell right there. Another guy that we had talked about a lot coming into this season was Cornell Hatcher, and really into the offseason about whether or not he was going to stay. He was a big one for the Beavers to bring back, and he explained today why he stayed.
What really made me stay was the first conversation I had with Coach Shep. I was sold on his idea and his goal on where he wanted to take this team, and it was something that I wanted to be a part of. I felt like it was something that was going to be very special, and I needed to be a part of that. I wanted to stay. I wanted to see where we could take Beaver football. I really just believed in Coach Shep.
Yeah, what excites you about?
And another guy that has stayed and has endured, and we're going to go full circle. We started out with Mitch Dolan here on the Drive talking about the offensive line group. Let's finish up with Tyler Volton, who's a holdover. Says there's a lot of differences already. I mean, it wouldn't take much to show it, but a lot of differences with this team and others that he's played on.
This is no dock on the other teams I've been on in the past, but I truly feel the most connected with this team, from the staff standpoint to the team itself. Is like I can go hang out with whoever on the team. I can go talk to whoever I need to on the team, and that kind of helps with the connection. Is holding each other accountable out in the field too. It happens everywhere. Accountability in the meeting rooms and all that stuff. So, I think it's been a huge change from the previous couple of years too.
It's like our team. I feel like I can hang out with everybody on my team. I can talk to everybody on our team here.
That's nice.
I meant that seriously.
I'm glad you feel that
everybody
way.
here. I feel like I can have a chat or
Steve.
a drink with everybody.
Steve, you're so sweet.
It's such important.
I hope we're not picked last in our whatever conference of radio stations that we're in. But I feel like I can hang out with this team.
One guy who's never going to be picked last, especially for dodgeball, because if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. Travis Rooke-Ley from Ducks Rising, NIL. We're going to talk offensive line at Oregon when we return with the great TRL next here on The Drive.
Don't change the channel. Your radio might explode. Okay, not real. But you miss a minute of The Drive, you might miss something, well, spectacular.
On we go.
The Drive is back on 102.9 FM and 1050 AM. The Sports Animal.
We live and work right here in Eugene, so we understand what matters most: family, community, and the confidence of having a plan that fits your life. Your Eugene area Edward Jones advisors get to know you, your goals, your family, and what feeling secure means to you. Together, we'll help you make sense of your financial picture so you can move forward with clarity and confidence. Your Eugene area Edward Jones advisors. Let's start the conversation. To locate the Edward Jones financial advisor nearest you, visit edwardjones.com. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
It kind of sneaks up on you. You're more tired than you should be, a little less focused, a little less motivated. Maybe you've gained a little weight. It's normal. A lot of men experience it, but that doesn't mean you have to live with it. At Hale Men's Clinic, personalized testosterone therapy can help you restore your energy, your clarity, your edge. Real solutions, real results. Hale Men's Clinic. Feel good now. Curious about your levels? Walk into Hale Men's Clinic in Eugene, Bend, or Roseburg for your free testosterone test today. More info at halemensclinic.com.
Summer, the sun, the sand. How could things be any better? Actually, you know what sounds kind of good? Chicken bones. Yeah, that would make things better. All you could eat wings for $27.95 and dollar beers from Cold Fire Cold Store? That would really make things better. Ooh, and the sauces. The sauces are to die for. In fact, now I'm kind of hungry. Oh man, now I need to go to Chicken Bones.
Make no bones about it, Chicken Bones has the best wings in Lane County. All you can eat wings, great sauces, and awesome burgers. Open daily at 11 a.m. on Pioneer Parkway in the Safeway Center. Check us out on Facebook or call 541-726-0111. That's 541-726-0111. Chicken Bones, chicken with an attitude.
We are the NFHS. That stands for the National Federation of State High School Associations. But really, what we stand for, together with the OSAA, are the 99,000 high school sports and performing arts students in Oregon. And so we stand. We stand for the runners, debate team members, and basketball players. We stand for their coaches, officials, and adjudicators. We stand for the drummers, football players, and actors. We stand for the golfers, singers, and swimmers. We stand as the national leader and advocate for these essential activities and all who participate in them and make them possible, because it is our purpose to ensure that high school students get to play, perform, and compete together. To learn more about who we are and what we stand for, visit nfhs.org.
Sometimes they're right.
Rest my case.
Sometimes they're wrong.
You want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
But no ears were harmed in the making of their disagreements.
I don't know what we're yelling about.
You're listening to The Drive on the Sports Animal Eugene.
Coming up top of hour number 2, Jeff Lyle, the manager of your Springfield Drifters. The Drifters ended their season in smoke on Wednesday. Unfortunately, had their game canceled because of the bad air that we had in the valley. It was bad. It was some of the worst in the world.
But props to them. Did you see what they did instead? They said,
Yeah.
hey, if you feel safe coming out, free concessions and discounted merch from 6 to 7:30. So
And
props
I know
to them
people
for,
came out,
for doing that.
Discounted merch, you say?
Discounted merch and free concessions.
So somebody's ears perk up over there.
I like discounted
It was
merch.
2 nights ago. Sorry.
I had a nice conversation with Brian Beban about what the most common hat is in the Springfield, Eugene area. And Brian's opinion was that it was a drifter's hat. And I think I agree.
I wore one yesterday. I was wearing it yesterday.
I think
felt
I
bad.
agree.
Dompe came in. I was wearing a drifter's hat. Not that they're rivals, but I was like, if I don't own an M's hat though, so maybe if he gave me one, I would wear that. Matt, if you're
So-
out there, I would wear an M's hat, not just a drifter's hat.
Are you pimping for free swag right now with
Sure,
somebody?
absolutely.
Wow, look at you go. All right, let's head on over to our video chat as we are welcoming in from Ducks Rising our good friend Travis Rooke-Ley, as we are going to talk a little Oregon football. Travis, how you been?
Pretty good. As a Eugene boy, I don't think I've heard Jeff Lyle's name since he was recruiting me to join his travel teams when I was playing high school ball. So tell Jeff I said hey.
We'll ask him for the scouting report from those days at South Eugene High School and what it looked like.
Oh boy. Depending on the year. Depending on the year.
There you go. Good. You and Zach, our good friend Zach Neal, we call him Cadillac here on the program. You guys did a podcast the other day, and I want you to expand on it a little bit. Obviously, you want to drive people to your site, and you can follow Travis Rooke-Ley on the socials as well. Right there is Travis Rook with an E at Lay, as he is all over the Twitterverse. We talked a lot about it earlier this week about Oregon's offensive line and the comments that were kind of pulled out of Dan Lanning because of the talk around, having 6 or 7 or 8 guys in rotation. And I really did like the quote from Dan Lanning. It says, if you only have 5, you're backing yourself, I'm paraphrasing, into a little bit of a corner. So he wants to evaluate everyone. So when you guys started doing your deep dive, what did you figure out?
Yeah, I think it's there's kind of 2 different ways you can view a statement like that. And I think the more we looked into it and the more that I know Dan expounded on it a little bit following his initial comments, I think it's about above the line players. And ultimately, like, it's pretty rare you're going to be able to go through a season with 5. And so they're doing everything they can, cross-training guys at guard, at tackle, just making sure they have as many players as possible who can compete. Given an injury, a ding in a certain spot, a guy needs to flip to a different position. I think right now you kind of have an offensive line you got 2 groups of guys. You got some veterans there, Janoris Wilson, Kavika Rogers, who have been in the program a while. And then you've got this young guard of just extremely talented, bodies that you dream of in Nacho and a Tommy Tofi and a Zaire Addison, a Douglas Utu. And so it's going to be interesting just to track kind of, are we rolling with experience, probably a little higher floor, maybe a little lower ceiling, or are we just going to ride with some of these young guns and hope they're, up and rolling by November with probably a little more upside?
It's interesting, Travis, because with the schedule set up with Boise State at the start, they don't really have the ability to rotate, 8, 9 guys and try things out, as if this was some other schools would play a team to start off, you can beat. And 2 years ago when they had the close one against Boise State, the unit that took most of the blame was the offensive line. It was like, hey, they were really struggling there after Powers Johnson and them left. So we're going to kind of see what that depth chart looks like right away. They're not going to have a chance. It doesn't feel like, maybe Portland State and we'll see on Oklahoma State. But for the first game, that whoever the 5 is, we're going to know who it is from the start.
Totally. I mean, I think that's a great point. Obviously, the parallels are there with Boise a couple of years ago. And I think that, this is the, September schedule in general is no cakewalk. I mean, you got Boise there, who's probably the G5 favorite to make the playoff. You got Oklahoma State, who's, considered one of the most, improved teams in the country. You're on the road, a 9 a.m. game, and then you're obviously going down to Southern California and playing at USC. So I think, in a perfect world, you'd love to have your 5 by that game. I think it's going to be interesting to see how they navigate to do you play your best 5 versus some other strategy that goes into it? Because if I had to predict today, you're probably seeing Tommy Tofi, a true freshman, start at right tackle. What do you do to buffer him? Do you put a more experienced guard next to him? Do you ride with 2 freshmen on the right side? Like, how exactly does that look? Do you have your strong experience side, and then your side you can protect a little bit? So I think there's a lot that goes into that. It's going to be interesting to see throughout the rest of the fall if you got your 5 you're rolling with, or they're going to have to mix and match a little bit. But I'm with you. I mean, I would love to see 5 guys take 75% of the snaps that opener.
That USC game you mentioned is really interesting to me, Travis, which, first of all, it's great to see you on our video stream here. And I think the thing about it is that USC obviously has not had a lot of success in that game for a while now, but it feels like there's some momentum here for USC, and they're trying to, overtake the Ducks here. And we've heard some conversation about, hey, could USC end up being Oregon's biggest rival maybe by the end of the season, depending on the way things go with everything? How important do you think that USA game is going to be, not just for the college football playoff, for the Big Ten, all that stuff, but just because it's USC?
It's massive. I thought last year's game was massive. I mean, last year's game, I actually made the comment before the USC game last year that was the biggest regular season game of Lanning's tenure, given just what was on the line. I think given what USC has invested recruiting wise to start to win some of those battles that we kind of had the upper hand for a while, given how chirpy USC's been, I would say, in the offseason, social media accounts, Lincoln Riley himself, championship window is open. I know from a USC perspective, I feel like they're gearing up for that game all offseason. If you look at their schedule prior to that, it's not much. I wouldn't be surprised if they're game planning right now for that matchup on the 26th. And I think for Oregon, it's just a chance to, hey, we've been quiet. We haven't really chirped back. I think Dan's the type of guy that likes to do his talking on the field. And then we can all tune into that Ducks versus them video a couple days later and hopefully get some good content run out of that.
It's the Sports Animal in Eugene, also on the coast at Fox Sports Newport, and adding on a couple more affiliates on Monday here to the program. We'll talk about that in the last hour as we roll through here a Friday edition of The Drive with the great Travis Rooke-Ley. You can follow him on the socials, Travis Rook with an Rooke and Ley at the end. Also at Ducks Rising. Good follows there on the Twitterverse. So let's talk about Dan Lanning and his approach in the roll-up to the season. And for someone like you or others that are covering the team and have a fan base that is, hanging on the words that you want to put out there to them, how hard is it for you, because you can't be sitting there watching practices? You're basically having from afar to kind of like look at lineups, try and make some and divine some answers from when Dan will get up there or when you hear players speak. So, I mean, how has that made it more challenging for you and others to be able to cover this team?
Yeah, extremely challenging. You mentioned
So
our
how
good
do you
friends.
do it, I guess. So how do you do
I
it?
mean, you mentioned our good Zach and I actually had a conversation on the podcast last night about this, and big shout to Zach. You mentioned, I think, first of all, it takes boots on the ground in Eugene who are going to those press conferences and asking the right questions and getting the information that they can. I think Dan, Marshall Malchow, they're never going to be the type of guys to let much out of that building. I think the things have definitely tightened up in college football in general, but I think Oregon is probably the tightest of all. But you got to read between the lines. You got to look for little comments in there. I mean, every media availability that comes out, you got 15 minutes and you're finding little comments assistant coaches are making about certain guys. You're talking to other people around the program. You're hearing what other players are saying about each other. So it's a challenge for sure. And there's also a balance with it of if you do have a conversation with somebody or find out a certain piece of information, there's a lot of times where that actually doesn't benefit Oregon to get out. And so I think about last year, leading up to the Iowa game when DeCorian and Kenyon and a few of the other guys kind of were out, but late. And it hadn't really gone public. That was the type of situation where there's a big competitive advantage on the line. It's Friday night. I can change a game plan if I'm going to release some information. So that's the thing as fans, we always want to hear everything, but it's definitely a delicate balance between hey, yeah, I mean, I've heard Tommy Toffee looks amazing and I think he's going to start at right tackle. Does that hurt the team? I wouldn't say that's hurting anyone having that out there. I mean, there's not a whole lot of tape on a freshman like that, but there's certain information we come across that we got a little more tight-lipped with.
Jamari Johnson had the most amazing offseason ever. Have you heard that, and do you believe that?
I thought Jamari Johnson was as good as Kenyon Sadiq last year, so I definitely do believe that. I think Jamari Johnson was going to be probably the second or third tight end off the board last year, and I'm pretty dang confident he's going to be first this year. I think he is very well could have the best receiving season for a tight end at Oregon ever.
Do you think there's anybody that separates themselves in either the running back room or the receiver room? Because, I mean, there's so much talent. It's hard to think of, hey, one guy's going to do it, right?
Zach stumped me on the pod with a bunch of hypotheticals like that last night. He was asking me who's going to, lead the receiving room, who's going to lead the running back room. I think at running back, you'll see, I'm pretty confident Jordan Davison is getting the bulk of the carries there. I think you've seen De'Aaron Hill. He'll cross-train a little bit. I think we'll look for kind of creative ways to get him the ball, similar to what we've done with a Kenyon Barner in the past, a DeAnthony Thomas. So I think his versatility will allow for Jordan to be a little bit more the bell cow there. But, man, we got to get to an end of the season with our running back room healthy somehow. It's been 3 straight years now that we've played our biggest game of the season without a healthy room of running backs. So I hope Dwan Riggs, Simeon Price, a couple true freshmen back there, we've got to find opportunities for them to just alleviate that load on those top two. So they're at their best, when it matters most.
Well, Travis, the first of many conversations we're going to have heading into the fall and throughout the season. We appreciate your insight. Love the work that you and Zach and the entire team at Ducks Rising do. And we'll be looking forward to your insight as we go through this season. And hopefully it'll go all the way to the end of January and early February.
Appreciate you guys. Grateful to come on anytime and looking forward to that. And just congrats on the success and the new channel and the new move. And hope it's fruitful for y'all. And if we can do anything to help you, let us know.
Oh, we will. You'll be getting a phone call. No problem at all.
Thanks, Travis.
All right, Travis.
I'll pick up sometimes.
We'll ask Jeff Lyle for that scouting report here when he gets in here in a minute.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Send it over. I got to hear all the details here. If he has any old video he can dig up, have him send it over.
Okay, we'll do it. Thanks, Travis. Take care.
Thanks, guys.
All right, there he goes, the great Travis Rooke-Ley. You can follow him on the socials. At Travis Rooke-Ley, at Dusk Rising as well. Chris Hampton coming up. Some audio from the new defensive coordinator on the Ducks, talking about his previous defensive coaching coordinating experience. Brandon Finney Jr., very versatile. And a burrito taco explanation, which I am very intrigued about when we come back on the drive.
Nothing is too big for the sports animal to handle. That's what she said. Your home for me, Dan Patrick, 6 to 9 a.m. weekdays, and The Drive with Danny, Steve, and Justin from 3 to 6. This is the sports animal.
Men like to get the most out of things. We expect results when we hit the gym, and we expect to finish our weekend to-do list. We also expect ourselves to never slow down, even when some things start to get a little harder. Low testosterone levels might be slowing you down. That's when Oregon Man Clinic step in. Sharpen your focus, regain energy levels, and improve your love life with treatment options tailored to you. Get the most out of being a man. Visit us online at our Springfield, Bend, and Albany locations.
I've seen new customers come in distrustful of other auto shops, and I get it. They're worried about being taken advantage of. But at Sun Automotive, our compass is welded true north. Our focus isn't to make the most money. It's about making sure your 16-year-old granddaughter makes it over the pass in the middle of the night with no cell service and gets there. At the end of the day, our focus is your trust. For the best service under the sun, come to Sun Automotive.
The plans you have for your property need the right equipment. Kubota has reliable tractors, utility vehicles, and mowers to help you make the most of your land, along with strong dealer support. Stop by today to explore our lineup. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment for 0% financing or save up to $3,500, plus a first-year K-maintenance service on us. Now through September 30th. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com/disclaimers for full disclaimer.
Mid-Valley Tractor in Eugene. 40 years, family-owned. Find them at midvalleytractor.com.
They are our love bugs and companions. They are our pets, our family, and they make life better. When we face unexpected challenges, so do our pets. That's why we're on a mission to support people and their pets. Whether donating a bag of kibble, sharing an Instagram post of a lost cat, or welcoming a foster pet into your home, every bit of kindness counts. Visit petsandpeopletogether.org to learn how to be a helper in your community. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
We put our lives on the line for our country. We braved the unknown. We did what we were told. And we lit up. Our cigarette packs were as valuable as the packs on our back. Maybe more. At one point, cigarettes were part of our daily ration. Smoke 'em if you got 'em. And boy, we were smoking 'em. Bumming a smoke was the norm. Was lit. If that was you then, get your lungs screened now. Surviving lung cancer starts with a scan. Learn more at screenyourlungs.org. And thank you for your service. This PSA was made possible by industry funding and guidance from lung cancer patient groups.
1050 AM and 1029 FM and the sportsanimaleugene.com. Broadcasting from the Bigfoot Beverages Studios. You're listening to The Drive on the Sports Animal Eugene.
Coming up top of the hour, we've got the manager here. It's Jeff Lyle from the Springfield Drifters. We'll get drifty with it at the top of the hour here on The Drive. Is that what they say?
That's what they say. That's the hashtag.
That's the Chris Hampton's the new defensive coordinator at the University of Oregon, and here's him after practice saying about what he's enjoyed seeing the most early on.
The biggest thing that I've enjoyed seeing and coaching these guys is how they work together. They're a connected group. There's not anyone in that group, I think, that is, bitter about the other guy's success. They all celebrate each other's success, and sometimes that's difficult to do, when you know that you're all competing for playing time, but they're all rooting for each other, cheering for each other. So I think we really have a connected group, and that's been a joy to coach.
Brandon Finney Jr., he's a kid who broke out last year, and Chris Hampton describes his versatility.
Yeah, I know. I think, the more you know, the more valuable you are to the team. The more you can do. And Brandon's a guy that's infatuated with the details. He's extremely smart. He's driven. We all know he had a great season last season as a true freshman. And so I think, and obviously having other good players at his position, at corner, those guys can play multiple positions. And we do a lot of meeting all together as a secondary. And so the guys get to hear what the stars doing, what the safety's doing, what the corner's doing. And we try as much as possible to teach the concept and not just the play, not just learn, hey, this is what taco means, this is what burrito means, or no, this is what a Mexican food means. Does that make sense? Just the whole concept, and you understand that it's X's on the page, and it may be you on this play, it may be Mateo on that play doing it.
So the burrito taco explanation.
So explaining what that means, basically.
Burrito, yeah. We don't have a call burrito, but I wouldn't tell you what the real call is because somebody's probably watching it that would like David dissect it. So I just made up burrito, taco, nacho. That means absolutely nothing.
You just had to listen to it. I couldn't explain.
He just made it up. Burrito and taco means absolutely nothing.
Sounds good. I'm hungry.
Yeah. What's for dinner? We're actually having tacos for dinner tonight at my house. That was just a happy circumstance. All right. Next hour number 2. We started out with a bang. Jeff Lyle's here in the studio. Stay tuned for The Drive as we roll on here on a Friday from the Bigfoot Beverages studio.
.1050 AM, 1029 FM, and the SportsAnimalEugene.com. Other stations can say they cover the Ducks and Beavers, but we bring the receipts. You're listening to The Drive on the Sports Animal Eugene.
Millions of Americans are glued to their TV weekly, watching a sport they love. Come and relive your childhood at A&J Sports Cards. They have a wide variety of sports cards and memorabilia. Eugene's home for collecting is A&J Sports Cards. Whether you're looking for the stars from the past or the present, you'll find them at A&J Sports Cards. They are here to meet your hobby needs. That's A&J Sports Cards, 1478 West 6th Avenue, 541-343-5561.
Where do my friends and other students find their voice? We find our voice through the performing arts, along with millions of other high school students. By expressing yourself in a role on stage, through an instrument, or at the debate podium, the performing arts give us freedom to find ourselves, to find our place. The stage is where I can play, perform, and compete with my friends.
Performing arts at your school is where creativity meets courage. Encourage the students in your life to find their voice through the performing arts. This message presented by the NFHS, where we encourage all students to play, perform, and compete together.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Hey, Max, you look absolutely dashing in that purple tie. Ready to harness the world?
You bet, Daisy. I'm ready as I'll ever be. And might I say, your purple tie really pops with your vest.
Thanks. I almost went with a cape, but didn't want to come across as pretentious.
Nonsense. Anyone in our line of work should rock a cape.
You might be onto something, Max.
Phew. So here we go. First day on the job. You've got this, right?
Right. Don't forget, we both graduated from Dogs Inc. with honors.
Which means I can guide my human around a busy city with ease.
And I can give my human a restful night.
I hope my human is kind and loving.
And I hope mine likes wet kisses and zoomies.
Ready to make a difference?
Born ready. Let's go.
Discover how extraordinary dogs like Daisy and Max change lives at no cost to the recipients. Visit dogsinc.org.
KORE Springfield, Eugene, 1050 AM. Translated on 275CX 1029 FM. This is the sports animal, Eugene.
You know it, you love it. Hour number 3 will end the program as well. We do with big bets. Nothing but baseball today. I didn't throw a WNBA game in there, Goose.
You didn't throw Royals Cubs in there either, so thank you for that.
We can change it.
Nope. I don't want to have to bet against the Royals.
Poking the bear.
I wanted it.
I'm gonna check.
I was looking for it.
Now you mentioned it 3 times. We're changing it now. I'm dropping one of these other games. We're gonna do Cubs and Royals now.
We needed the stakes, right?
Well, Goose is
Now it really means something.
Yeah, got to turn his microphone on. There you go, AJ. So sorry, go ahead, Jeff.
We got some locals with Peterson and Kelly on the Cubs, so
Yeah.
that's always a good one to talk to.
Yeah,
Carson
that's right.
Kelly and David Peterson, absolutely.
That's the voice of the head coach of your Springfield Drifters, Jeff Lyle, stepped into the manager's role for the Drifters, start of the 2025 season. And big improvement this year, Coach. And congratulations. I know the season didn't end the way you wanted to because you still want to be playing ball right now, but you've got to be thankful, grateful, and honored with the effort that those players gave you this year.
Absolutely. Good players make a good coach, so all the credit goes to those guys. It was I was saying it the night before that our last game, that it was probably the first year in a long time that I've been sad for a season to end. And not personally. Well, yes, actually personally, selfishly too, but for what these kids had going and the connection and the bond that they created and what they were bringing to the community and just everything that we had going on, it was a tough one to have end for us.
So, I mean, this is special for you as well. I mean, you're a Eugene native. So being able to come back here and coach at this level, and you got, a lot of kids that they're still playing ball at the collegiate level, and this is what this is about. This is a development league for those kids. So that mindset that you must have with these young men, I mean, what is it exactly? I mean, what do you think you need to give them that can help them in their next step?
Just support, love, and being an avenue of development for them. They're borrowed players. They're not our players. So we have to do what their coaches want as far as development wise and taking care of them. So just being there to support them and teach them some things along the way, maybe off the field or some things that they don't get to do during their collegiate season. So, I mean, we're just a supplement. We're not the end all be all for their collegiate season and everything. So there's not a lot we can do, but what we do get to do, we really enjoy.
How different is it from year to year? You mentioned how this was the first year that you were sad to see the baseball season end, but the players are different every year, teams are different every year. How much does it change?
100% every year. Yeah, like your roster, you're really lucky if you carry over 6 or 7. But I think this year, just knowing that it could possibly be the last year that the community sees a Cooper Mullins, a Nolan Miller, Blake Stavros out on that field. Those are the things that got me a little bit personally. And then just the fact that how good this group was growing and how fast they were getting better and improving in every aspect of the game. So yeah, those things are just different every year. The group that you get, the camaraderie, and how fast or how slowly things come together. So it's a crapshoot every year, but it's what we enjoy.
When you get this team and start of the year, sometimes you don't get the guys till later because it starts in beginning of June and some college seasons run late. You guys got really hot late. Does it make you think, man, I wish I'd had this group from the start? Maybe we could have done more. But what was the keys? You guys really kind of hit your stride late in the season.
Yeah, you always wish you had the group that you get hot with, but at the same time, we're grateful and happy to have those guys that we had early, and we're able to come in and get some things done. We had a lot of local kids early on 10-day contracts, so they were able to come in and get some experience, and they'll be drifters in the future. So it's just the never knowing how quickly guys will bond. And I mean, we had a really great roster built this year that didn't show up.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the ebbs and flows throughout the season of getting different guys in. There were some guys that we didn't expect to show up that did, and then we had a lot of guys that we expected to show up that didn't. So just for all of that to mesh together and end in the way we did, it was great for us, and it was great for the Drifters community.
Did you see something kind of coming? I mean, was it kind of the bats got hot, the pitch in the arms? What kind of really keyed you guys late there?
That's a great question, Steve. And it's neither of those. I personally think, and I've been saying it for a while, it was me stepping out of the way.
Really?
Coach Stiles and I have come into this from pro ball. It's a lot different pro ball than collegiate baseball. It's a different game. There's a lot of rah-rah. There's a lot of energy. There's a lot of stuff that's kind of falsely created in the college game, in my eyes.
Jeff, sorry, go ahead.
No, please finish. Go ahead.
No, I'm stepping on you.
I think once I stepped out of the way and let them be authentic and let them have some character on the bench and let them support each other, and as long as we weren't crossing the line and being disrespectful to another team or any fans that showed up, I think the energy was created authentically amongst them. And I had a really good talk with Dan Straley, who's a really good friend of mine, and I mean, he's a big league vet, and I said, I like to run our dugout like the big leagues. And he called me out and he said, how do you know what the big league dugout's like? I said, touche, my friend. I know what a professional dugout, I know what a minor league dugout is ran like, and it's a lot of information. It's this. And he said, well, sometimes you go to a city that there's no crowd, and the dugout needs to provide that information and that energy.
Mm-hmm.
So once I let them start going, and we had guys like Michael Klein and some kids that were characters, and I think that was a big part of them feeling free and feeling like it was a game instead of work.
And I think this is kind of what you're getting at. You see players sometimes that like they need to be themselves, right? Like you can't like hold them in a box, but maybe they have a little bit of flair to their game or like whatever it is. And if you try to hold them back too much, then they don't play their best. Is that sort of what you're describing of what you found?
100%. And I preach it. And I talk about being authentic, like bringing authenticity and being you and being this. But then I found out I was holding the guys that were really energetic and they were actually authentic in their supporting of the team in a different way that was in my favor. So yeah, once I let those guys be, it kind of just rolled over to they wanted to be at the yard more, I think, and they wanted to be there at the early work, and they wanted to pull for each other, and it became a family, and it became a fun game like it's supposed to be.
Jeff Lyle is the manager of your Springfield Drifters. They just finished their 2026 season and got past 22 wins for the first time, probably second time in franchise history, but set a record for wins in a season this year with 24. And he joins us as he returned to Eugene back in 2004. We'll talk about what you do now in the off season, but it sounds like you learned a lot about yourself and that you're going to be able to springboard into next year. So you seem like a very, I'll just say it, I don't know you that well. In fact, I'm just meeting you for the first time. Very soft-spoken stuff. Have you ever been thrown out
of a game?
Yeah.
Yeah. I get one a year.
You had like 3 games ago, didn't you? You got thrown out near the end of the year.
Yeah, I got thrown out one of the Ridgefield games.
Do you go out there thinking, I need to do this to fire my team up? Or is it just really that something got underneath you and you are not going to let that go?
Both.
Okay.
A little less of the things where I'm just not going to let go now. I mean, a lot of these umpires, they're young. They mean well. They're good kids. So, yeah, lately it's been just I need to get this team going, and it backfired against Ridgefield. I got their team going. I talked to a few of their players the next day, and they're like, hey, thanks, Skip. Man, that really got me going. I needed that. And I'm like, oh, boy. Not really my goal, but I get that a lot about being soft spoken, and then guys come out and people watch us play, and that opinion changes really quick. Yeah, I think I'm very vocal and probably too vocal, honestly, during a baseball game. So yeah, soft spoken at times.
You've been here obviously as a scout, as a coach, and now the Drifters just finished year 5, your second year there. What does it mean having, I mean, this college wood bat league and Hamlin Field, the new stadium they built there is awesome. What's it mean, do you think, for this community to have more baseball and the Drifters? And did you see some growth kind of in terms of crowds and excitement and more attention to the team this year? Do you feel like this kind of brand is starting to build now in year 5?
Yeah, I don't know, minus the last year that I was with the Drifters, because I've been gone every summer, about things, but I've definitely seen the improvement. I've definitely seen the atmosphere change around there. I've seen it change in the community, where I'll go out and people will notice me or talk to me now about the Drifters a little bit more. Having Jake Willard, our new GM, his enthusiasm and the way he attacks it is a huge part of that. And then being able to keep some of these community kids home, the Nolan Millers, Blake Stavros, obviously the Cooper Mullins,
Yeah.
keeping kids like that home, keeping some of the Oregon Ducks here during the summer is huge. And then realistically having like Marcus Leiden with the Leidos Lab and having Kenny Niles with the Eugene Challengers and like what they're doing for baseball in this community, just rising tides raise all ships. So I'm a firm believer it's not just us, but it's what the baseball people in this community are doing to bring baseball back to where it has been in Willamette Valley before.
And that stadium's pretty cool, and an academy's opening up. The Drifters Academy's coming. I know when I got out there and saw it, you were walking your dog by that day. I happened to be there with Ike that day, but the academy just going to continue to grow kind of the Drifters brand and give youth in this area more chances to kind of play year-round baseball.
Absolutely. It's kind of just like what Ike and Kelly have done for everything in this community. They dive into it and they go full speed ahead. That facility is amazing. It's top notch. And then what it's actually going to do to supplement kids in playing baseball is out of this world. I'm super excited and hope to be involved quite a bit, and as much as I can with still running the Drifters collegiate team. But I think that having that in this community and having those mesh together will be really big for baseball in general.
Coach Jeff Lyle joining us here in studio on The Drive, the sports animal in Eugene, 102.9, 1050 AM, and out on the coast in Newport at 92.7 KNCU, Fox Sports Newport, as we will have big bets next hour. We'll talk a little bit Portland Fire, and is USC now Oregon's biggest rival this season in football? We'll talk about that all in the next hour and a half. But, Coach, so now the season's over. Unis have been put away. So now what does Jeff Lyle do before we pick up the bats and issue the new unis for next year? Do you get to relax for a second, though, first? You take a breath?
Yeah. The wife has a few things scheduled.
Always.
It's her time. My schedule has been filled for the last few months of things I get to do and love to do. And I'm in a great spot because she supports it. She loves it. She comes to every game. She's a big part of what we do. But yeah, it's a little bit of vacation and then jump into the academy, help on that side, get the youth teams going and sorted out, and get a lot of recruiting going again. We've got a lot of good schools that we're in contact with all the time, UCSB, UC Davis. So we'll start getting into who they're going to send us and what we need to do to build on this year and make sure that we're improving every year.
You mentioned Cooper Mullins, Maris, Nolan Miller, Sheldon, Blake Stavros, Willamette. You've had 3 kids even precede you. They've been here even before you got here. All those guys have been key players on this team too, and all 3 local guys. You mentioned them moving on, but what do you think the legacy those 3 guys leave from Cooper's Mr. Drifter. We had a bobblehead for him the other day. What's kind of the legacy those 3 guys leave as kind of locals who helped kind of build this thing up for you in your 2 years?
Well, personally and selfishly for me and the community, Cooper and Nolan have another year here.
Oh, okay.
Now, is that likely? Probably not. Those guys need to move on and do their thing. They've definitely left their legacy here. But having kids like that, and then we have Brock Johnson, who we brought on this year.
Yeah, from Thurston.
I called Brock Johnson immediately. He'll be the next Cooper Mullins if he wants to be.
Mm-hmm.
He'll be the kid that could be here 3 or 4 years and set that legacy. And then, we had Lombardi come out this year for us at the end of the year. So
Gianni?
Nice. We're not short of the local talent that we can keep around. And as long as we do our job and keep putting a good environment and atmosphere for kids to come out and play, I think we'll be able to, once those kids are done at Lido's Lab or done at the Challengers and done with their high school careers, are able to come back and put the Drifters uniform on and represent their community, would be like the ultimate goal for all of us.
Well, I've said it many, many times. There's nothing better than an afternoon or an evening at the ballpark. And, Coach, you get to live that, and it's great that you get to teach these kids and show them the next step and help them out. So thank you for what you do in the community, and thank you for what you do with the Drifters.
I appreciate it. And like you said, get to do it. It's something that every day that we put the uniform on, we realize we get to do this. We don't ever have to do it.
Well, let's talk about it during the off season as well. Anything we can do to help you here at the Sports Animal, we're there for you.
Just keep supporting and promoting the Drifters.
All right, Coach. Thanks for being in here.
Thank you, guys. Anytime.
All right,
Appreciate
Coach Jeff Lyle from the Springfield Drifters. When we come back on the program, CFP announces the top 3 seeds can select their own bowl path. Can they select someone else's bowl path is what I want to know. Let's find out next here on The Drive.
Don't change the channel. Your radio might explode. Okay, not really. But you miss a minute of The Drive, you might miss something, well, spectacular.
On we go.
The Drive is back on 102.9 FM and 1050 AM. The Sports Animal.
Here's a quick heads up from Jerry's Shop Talk.
No matter what kind of project you're thinking about at home, there's a perfect project mantra.
Better head for Jerry's. If you want a better project outcome,
Plumbing, decking, painting, you name it.
you'll get real hands-on help from real knowledgeable people who won't be undersold.
That's right. Make it your mantra too.
Ready?
Ready.
If you want a better project outcome,
Better.
better.
Better head for Jerry's.
Nice.
And we're back on Jerry's Shop Talk with a perfect project pro tip.
Before you start any home makeover, make over your mind. Tell yourself you're going to do the best do-it-yourself you can.
Don't just Google, YouTube, and get some stuff delivered.
Get real hands-on help from real knowledgeable people who won't be undersold.
Really? Want a better project outcome?
Better head for Jerry's.
In Eugene and Springfield.
Thank you.
Did I project enough?
That was perfect.
Thank you.
Yeah. Can you pass me a Baja?
A what?
Mountain Dew Baja Blast. Try it. It's tropical at first, then the lime flavor hits.
Oh, okay. It's great. Tastes like vacation.
Right?
And it's mine now.
Have a Baja Blast.
Enjoy cool savings on Mountain Dew fountain drinks all summer long. Any size for just $1.50 at participating convenience stores.
Oregon, land of forest green, mountains snowy white, land of nature lovers' dream, beauty to match delight, where sunlit paths wind their way around mountain, lake, and stream. Be careful never to start a wildfire. Please, keep Oregon green.
School sports are played by humans, coached by humans, and officiated by humans. So the next time you're sitting in the stands at a school athletic event, please remember this and maintain your humanity, especially when it comes to judging and critiquing athletes, coaches, and officials. Please show your fellow humans some respect. They'll appreciate your empathy.
This message presented by the OSAA and the Oregon Athletic Directors Association.
As a firefighter, my job was about saving lives. I never thought one day I would be fighting for mine.
After spending his career answering the call to save others, Ken was diagnosed with ALS. Now he's facing his biggest battle, for more time. For 70 years, Muscular Dystrophy Association has been helping people live longer and more independent lives.
I wouldn't be living as good of a life with ALS if it wasn't for MDA. Learn more at mda.org.
Sometimes they're right.
Rest my case.
Sometimes they're wrong.
You want answers. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
But no ears were harmed in the making of their disagreements.
I don't know what we're yelling about.
You're listening to The Drive on the Sports Animal Eugene.
If you miss any with Springfield Drifters manager Jeff Lyle, go back to the podcast and listen to it. Travis Rooke-Ley in the first hour from Ducks Rising, talking a lot of Oregon football, especially that offensive line, which is still going to be, it seems like we've talked about the offensive line for the last 3 years at Oregon.
You're right.
We have, haven't we?
You're right.
That's kind of like the theme.
Probably the last 83 years we've been talking about the offensive line at Oregon.
All right. All right.
The old curmudgeon on the couch. CFP announces the top 3 seeds can select their bowl path. I started diving in this a little bit. This was pushed out and stemmed from the fact that they're they're removing these bowl tie-ins for the conferences.
Yeah, which I don't like. So you can have a Rose Bowl with Alabama and Oklahoma. Like, it just feels so weird to me.
Indiana, Alabama was the Rose Bowl.
I know,
last
it's
year.
so bizarre.
So beginning this season, the top 3 seeds in the CFP, the 12-team bracket, can select their preferred bowl path, their quarterfinal assignments, in rank order. So, the historic conference bowl tie-ins have been taken out. There's a whole, literally there is a document, folks, that is pages and pages long, and you can go look at it, the College Football Playoff Overview. That's on the 4-Letter Network, and the NCAA College Football Playoff Guide has it. So, Baby J.
Couple big ones here, I think, actually. So you mentioned the top 3 seeds. It used to be just the number 1 seed that could choose their bowl path. Now it's the top 3 seeds. I think a big one to me is the fact that only one of the group of 6 can be in the college football playoff going forward. They made it a rule that you can't have 2.
I didn't know that.
So the New Year's 6 quarterfinal bowl destination, Fiesta, Peach, Rose, or Cotton Bowl, that's where the 3 seeds, and in descending order. So the number 1 gets to pick first, and then number 2 gets to pick second. So there could be 2 teams that want the same destination. So how would that? How though they wouldn't be able to get matched up with each other, and that's why they're
doing a draft, basically a draft.
I don't know. What do you think about this?
Well, they've been doing it like when Oregon was number 1 seed, they played in the Rose Bowl.
Right.
They got that, and so it's been just based on whichever one's closest to you. So I don't think this is going to change much. If Oregon gets it, they're going to pick the Rose Bowl again. They're not going to suddenly pick going to Dallas or something. You always want the one closest to you. So it feels like now you make it official. But yeah, in the past, every school, unless I guess if you're Ohio State and if you're Georgia and you're playing Miami and the closest one is
the Orange Bowl.
The Orange Bowl,
You're
you
not gonna
maybe
pick
a
that.
different one because you want them. So that might be where it comes in, but it doesn't seem like that would happen very often.
The Sports Animal and the Drive here in the Valley, out on the coast at Fox Sports Newport, KNCU. I'm Danny. That's Steve over there. Justin, you're on the phone with us. You can hop on 541-844-3484. That's the Oregon Man Clinic's hotline. Toll free 877-844-8434. Also online on the YouTube. And I see we got TikTok back and Twitter. Good job, Baby J.
Thank you.
So I think this is interesting as well, because with the breakup of the traditional tie-ins for bowl games, this to me is the next signal of the end of the bowl game scenario as we see it. And I've been saying this for a long time, is that once we people, you don't like it, it's coming. They're going to expand. The ridiculousness of expanding the NCAA basketball tournament to 96 teams is upon us. We will have a 24-team playoff before we know it, which means they will obliterate the rest of the bowl system. It'll just go away. And conference championship games, I think the Big Ten's already said that if the playoff goes to 24 teams, they are going to eliminate the conference championship game.
Yeah, because you're moving into that week. Basically, that week is becoming the first round of it. Yeah, you're not going to have that. The bowls are going to survive because as long as ESPN wants them to. ESPN basically owns most of the bowls.
But what bowl? If you're starting playoff games,
ESPN needs
early
TV. They need TV content. Bowl week and Christmas. They like having the Boca Raton Bowl on December 14th. They like having the Hawaii Bowl on every Christmas night. Don't you watch the Hawaii Bowl on Christmas night in your house?
No.
Somebody does because ESPN's got them. So ESPN will keep them around. Now, you might see more and more teams, like, say, in Oregon doesn't make the CFP. I know fans, oh, God, Steve said they're not going to make CFP. They don't make the CFP some year. they might bypass a bowl game because half their team's not going to want to play in it. But the the group of 6 teams, and those are still going to want to keep playing if it gets them on TV and some things. So I think you might see more teams, the power, kind of become like the NIT, where we've kind of got to the point where like Power 5 teams are like Power 4 teams are like, no, we don't need to play in that. But if the chance for Memphis to take on Texas State, and they both get invited to go to spend Christmas in Hawaii, I think they'll keep taking
Well,
it.
you just touched on something that I would find a bit intriguing. If you've got a 24-team playoff, what's saying you can't take the next 24 teams and have like an NIT round in the post?
Nobody wants to. Nobody. I mean, the same reason people aren't going to the NIT anymore. I mean, nobody. The NIT has become basically again a mid-major thing because those teams are still in it.
Well, listen though, but if
North Carolina, Oregon, Gonzaga, those teams aren't taking NIT bids anymore.
Haven't all the invitationals really started to take place more than there's? You get like I don't know what the money prize is, but I'm not correct about it. Didn't Oregon State go to one last year, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah, there was like $1 million prize at the end of it for this postseason tournament.
Rather than going to the NIT, that's what they're doing now.
They're building these cash tournaments. You haven't heard of this on the postseason?
Oh, I remember. No, I mean Wayne Tinkle's team last year.
Yeah,
yeah. I thought. No, I don't recall that.
Okay.
I guess I missed that one.
So maybe it was 2 years ago though. Justin, I don't know what it was. So I understand what you're saying though. But let me just expand the rest of it because I'm not letting go of this very easily because you get another home game. If you're going to offer one of the carrots, because like in the CFP and the model that they have, the higher seeds will still be able to host another game in their facility because it reduced travel costs, help the fans out, all of that. So if you don't take the next tier and you're offering the first round, the higher seeds, another home game, you don't think people are going to bite on that? You don't think the TVs would like it?
You think Duck fans are showing up for Oregon to take on Mississippi State in a game that means nothing?
What do you mean does it mean nothing? If you're playing off for something, if you're playing off for a crown,
NIT football championship, no.
I don't know what you call it.
But it's no. Oregon fans are no longer interested in a consolation prize football game.
But you're talking about Oregon fans. What about Mississippi State fans who are
never
going to?
Those are the ones that the bowl games will stick around for. I mean, the bowl games will survive for the group of 6 type schools.
How many bowl games would you go to if you weren't reporting on them?
How many?
The Independence Bowl or the
San Diego
or the Music City Bowl.
I would love to go to the Holiday Bowl. Would have been great.
Okay,
I love San Antonio. I would have gone to the Alamo Bowl.
Shreveport, Louisiana. Are you traveling
there? I didn't go to that
there?
one.
Okay.
I didn't go to the Seattle Bowl when they played in that one. But yeah, no, I mean, there's definitely
the Emerald Bowl.
I mean, this is what again before Oregon was Oregon now, and Danny, you lived during this time.
I did.
People used to love the idea that they were in, and it was like, hey, we're going to go spend the week between Christmas and New Year's in San Diego. That's the goal for this season. That's before
that's
Oregon.
San Diego. That's not Birmingham, Alabama.
But Oregon never went to Birmingham. I mean, there was always tie-in regionally.
But someone's going to Birmingham, Alabama. Is my
probably
point.
Troy and UAB. I mean, it's probably 2 teams that are from there. They're not flying team. Oregon's bowl games, it was always again San Diego for the bowl there, or what was the one down in Arizona, not the Fiesta but the other one down there,
the Cactus Bowl.
The Cactus Bowl was one. Yeah, I mean, it was always done regionally.
I just made that up. I have no idea if it was.
It was the Tostitos Bowl a while, but anyway, the idea was that they were always done regionally. I mean, the Pac-12 tie-ins were to the bowls that again, the Alamo Bowl, the Sun Bowl were Pac-12 ones, because the tie-in was, hey, we're going to have warm weather places at times when it's cold in other places. But that's what they were done for. And Oregon fans, again, for you who have jumped into town in the last 10 years, you may not remember this, but Oregon fans used to travel very, very diligently to these places.
It was a wasteland
before play Oklahoma State in a bowl game.
So they were so desperate to have an extra game. All right, Baby J. I know you want to jump in here.
That was fun. Just watching you guys go at it right there. That was entertaining for me.
What do you guys Danny went to a few of those.
Oh, I did. I suffered through many of those.
What do you think happens to the bigger bowls? Do those still remain in the college football playoff? It's a 2014 playoff. You can't have, no Rose
I think
Bowl
so.
and then.
No, I think they would.
I don't know. It just seems so weird to me to have these games that, I mean, they already have them now where the Rose Bowl isn't the last game of the season, right? So you could win the Rose Bowl. And I have a really great shirt that my mom makes fun of all the time because it says "1 not done" for the Rose Bowl in 2015 for Oregon. And they were in fact done after that game, which is the irony, unfortunately. But
I was at that game.
And that was a great game for Oregon, but the next game wasn't so great. So I just find it so odd that you have these games that used to be the pinnacle of the season, and now they're the quarterfinal game in a 24-team playoff. And so it just seems to me like
So the question
Just
on the
do
floor
away
is,
with them. Just do away with them.
so the question on the floor is: are we going to have more inclusionary? That's not a word. Inclusive bowls if they expand it to 24.
No, it'll still be the same. I mean, they're still just playing and they're going to be playing in Vegas and the Rose Bowl and the Cotton Bowl. I mean, the Motor City Bowl isn't going to suddenly play its way into a playoff format up in Detroit. But
could there be an opportunity for something like Lucas Oil Stadium to now develop a bowl that would be in the playoff?
yeah, except they won't even call. I mean, at this point, you don't have to develop bowl. You just call it a quarterfinal. You call it a semifinal. I mean, nobody's saying, hey, we want to play. I mean, Oregon played in the Orange Bowl, right, when they defeated Texas
And they
Tech
played
this
in the
year.
Peach Bowl against
but
Indiana.
nobody said, hey, we're playing in the Orange Bowl. We said, hey, we're
We're in
playing
the
in the
semifinal.
quarterfinal.
That's
We're
true.
playing in the semifinal.
Well, nobody said we're Peach Bowl champions. Like,
Yeah, I don't think that Oregon has that. I'm sure there is. I'm sure there is.
No, there is a
there
thing,
was.
I'm
actually.
sure there. Well, there wouldn't be a Peach Bowl title because they didn't win the Peach Bowl this year. But there is probably an
True.
Orange
Indiana's
Bowl
got
trophy.
it.
I would assume that
There
the
is.
Cas Center does have an Orange
It
Bowl
does.
trophy.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, no, absolutely, there would be. The Rose Bowl is interesting just because the Rose Bowl had January 1st, 2:00, because we got to get it started at this time, and
Right, because
then-
you want to see the sunset coming
exactly.
down or
but
the hills.
now that they've moved it around, the Rose Bowl kind of fights that. All the others, I mean, are just like for the money, right? I mean, you can tell the Orange Bowl when the game is, and they're fine. They used to be New Year's Day, but the Orange Bowl is fine moving. The Rose Bowl is the one that tries to puff its chest out and say, no, we're
the
January
granddaddy
1st
of
at
them
2
all.
o'clock, and we'll see how that does. But the rest of them are all vagabonds. They're all more than happy to go wherever it takes. And believe me, those games aren't going away also because the directors of those games make a lot of money, and they get to travel every Saturday to go put on their I always remember being in the press box and the Alamo Bowl. The guy with the Alamo Bowl vest would arrive, to
and the
show
jackets,
up.
the
And
sport
those guys
jackets.
aren't giving up their free 12 trips and their multi-$100,000 year salaries to let their bowl game go away.
I don't disagree with that, but I also want to point out that a lot of these bowls are entrenched in their communities and raise a ton
Absolutely.
of money for charities
That
as
is
well.
correct as
People
well.
don't lose the sight of that fact as well. They
That's
do.
correct as well.
All right, we come back to you.
Look at you pointing out the charity of college football.
I do my best to serve the faithful. Agree or disagree on a top 10 quarterback list that Joel Klatt put out? I don't know why we're pumping Joel Klatt, but we're going to do it
He
next.
coming on the show?
No.
Oh.
Here on The Drive. It is a Friday. Stay tuned. Sports Animal.
Nothing is too big for the sports animal to handle. That's what she said. You're home for me, Dan Patrick, 6 to 9 a.m. weekdays, and The Drive with Danny, Steve, and Justin from 3 to 6. This is the sports animal.
Summer, the sun, the sand. How could things be any better? Actually, you know what sounds kind of good? Chicken bones. Yeah, that would make things better. All you could eat wings for $27.95 and dollar beers from Cold Fire Cold Store? That would really make things better. Ooh, and the sauces. The sauces are to die for. In fact, now I'm kind of hungry. Oh man, now I need to go to Chicken Bones.
Make no bones about it. Chicken Bones has the best wings in Lane County. All you can eat wings, great sauces, and awesome burgers. Open daily at 11 a.m. on Pioneer Parkway in the Safeway Center. Check us out on Facebook or call 541-726-0111. That's 541-726-0111. Chicken Bones, chicken with an attitude.
Are you curious about who offers the best deals on top-rated Samsung, LG, and Sony TVs? The answer is surprising. It's not online, and it's not the warehouse clubs. The best deals on top-rated TVs are at Video Only. Don't believe it? Then check out the trade-in deals at Video Only. How about $500 for your old TV? Try doing that online. Before you buy that new TV, drop into Video Only. If you don't, you'll be sorry.
Sports fans, you know weekends belong to sports. And Fox has more sports than any other broadcast station. From NFL to UFL, MLB to MLS, plus the best in college football and Big Noon Saturday. The best in sports, only on Fox.
Get your news, get your weather and sports, and get to bed. Fox 34 News at 10, Western Oregon's only 10 o'clock news.
Even though the weather is getting warmer, many people in our community are still vulnerable and need your help.
Raven, Radical Assistance for Vulnerable Eugene Neighbors, is seeking donations to help those who need it most. Raven is asking for help with water bottles, raincoats, socks, shoes, blankets, tarps, and camping gear, or even a direct cash donation. Donations can be made at Raven distribution sites or via GoFundMe. For more information, visit our website, raveneugene.org. That's RAVEN Eugene.org.
Having a place to go after school will make you a better student. Having an outlet to express yourself will make you a better artist. Having something to do together will make you a better family. At the Y, we're helping build better friends, listeners, writers, swimmers, scientists, and musicians, one chance at a time. Give the gift of opportunity. Support the Y at ymca.net. The Y, for a better us.
1050 AM and 1029 FM and the sportsanimalEugene.com. Broadcasting from the Bigfoot Beverages Studios. You're listening to The Drive on the Sports Animal Eugene.
Portland Fire snapped a 5-game losing streak last night to set down the Toronto Tempo by 13, 14 points. Part of the Lighty?
Late. Like not early.
Late. Had a double-double. Scored 20 points. Plus. Fire this weekend. Back in action. You can hear it on the Sports Animal. Saturday night starting at 5:15. Next hour, Big Bets. Coquel Casino and Resorts presents our Big Bet segment. We've got 5 games and a late addition, so we need Brian and Laura to pick between the Cubs and the Royals.
They emailed me their picks.
There's an official rule book that says all games locked at noon, day of game. I thought that was written in the
what rule book?
I thought in your multi-million-dollar office over there, you had an official rule book that said no things could be changed.
You're delusional. I have never written a rule book on a Big
I think it's good until you get the segment out there, right?
Okay. Who's pitcher? I better find out who's pitcher.
I got pictures right here.
Hopefully.
You want to? I'll tell you. I got the pictures down
For the Royals game?
Yes, Clay Holmes and Seth Lugo. Okay.
Seth Lugo's pretty good.
So, and the predictor says Cubs win 63% to 37%. That's what the predictor says. Joe Klatt came out. By the way, you can join us. The Oregon Man Clinics hotline open for you. It's toll free 877-844-3484. We've had a lot of topics out there. We've had Jeff Lyle in here. We've had Travis Rooke-Ley via the video. I love having that. And again, say hi to everybody in television land.
I don't like being told to wave to people. Sorry. It's like this.
Smile and wave, boys.
You tell me to do something, I'm probably not doing it.
You absolutely did that begrudgingly.
If you tell me to do something,
Bit of a
I'm probably
rebel.
not doing it.
The look on your face when I said wave to the fan, just like. All right, so thanks for tuning in on the YouTube. We enjoy the support. Joe Klatt came out with a top 10 list for college football quarterbacks. I handed this to you, Goose, in the break, and you handed it back to me and said what?
I said it's the same 10 that everybody has. Just throw them in a hat, throw them in the air, and pick them up and put them down. I mean, everybody's, hey,
So you don't
your
think
top 10's going to have Chambliss. It's going to have Dante Moore. It's going to have Arch. It's going to have my guy Josh Hoover, who way undervalued.
Your
at
Josh
9,
Hoover?
right? 9. Sam Lev. I mean, the
Julian
10.
Sand.
Julian Sand's going to be in there. Yeah, the 10 aren't going to be hard to.
Arch.
It could be like, Family Feud. We could say who are the top 10 quarterbacks in no order, and you would absolutely get the same 10. But again, you could just throw those in a hat, throw them in the air, see where it comes down.
Do you have a clear number one?
I do not. No.
Do you have a clear number one, Baby J?
I think Dante's really good. I'm not ready. I mean, we'll see where it goes down, but no. I mean, any one of those guys. The Pac-12 preseason Player of the Year wasn't on there, right? No G.J. Kinney.
Nope.
No, okay.
From Texas State.
Yeah.
Nope.
I would say that Dante is my number one, but I wouldn't call it clear. I think it's fair to say it's not super clear. I think it also depends on how there's a lot of people that feel a certain way about Arch. There's a lot of people that feel a certain way about Julian Sand. I'm not personally a Julian Sand guy. I kind of think he's all right. I don't know if he's the third best quarterback in the nation, as Joel Klatt says. I might say that Darian Menson is a little bit underrated in this list. He's at number
Miami guy?
8.
Yeah.
So here's the list, and then we can throw out a couple more points if you want. Sam Levitt from LSU is number 10. I am going in reverse order to number 1.
Baby J, I know you don't like that. Josh
That's
Hoover.
fine. We can do
Josh
that.
Hoover, number 9. Darian Mensah mentioned number 8 from Miami. Jade Maeva from USC, number 7. John Mateer. I think
Yeah.
John Mateer had the over at he was going to be 6.
Ooh. Did Brendan Sorsby get in on that action as well?
Maybe him and Josh Hoover.
CJ Cart, number 5. Come on, man. When I've got that kind of opening, I'm just going to walk through the door. CJ Cart, 5. Trinidad Chambliss at 4. Julian Sayin, just saying, at number 3. Arch Manning at 2. Dante Moore at 1. Can I just say, and I know I'm going to get shouted down by the 4 Texas Longhorn fans that are within the sound of my voice, I'm not buying Arch Manning. I'm just not. I think as you keep going down that tree, the Manning tree, it doesn't get better. It just keeps getting worse. From Peyton to Eli, and now to Arch.
Okay.
That's a pretty high bar.
It is a
Well,
pretty
it
high
is a
bar.
high bar, but I mean, listen, they had him anointed as the next coming of the quarterback in high school.
Yeah.
And he has not panned out to be that.
Pretty good by the end of last year. We'll see, though. I'm with you. I mean, he hasn't done it, but I think that they've got a really good team around him.
Listen,
too. They
if you
brought
can
in,
show me that, I'll be the first one to say I was wrong.
They brought in Cam Coleman, the transfer from Auburn, who was the number 1 receiver in the portal. So he's got that. He's got the 2 running backs who came in. So he's got everything. So you're right. I think also a lot of last year was that opener, Ohio State. He looked really bad. They lost. I think people were kind of out. But for people who paid attention, by the end it got a little better. But yeah, no, I mean we haven't seen it yet, but I think it's a show at year for him certainly. If they miss the playoff again and he doesn't get to 10 or 11 wins, I think it'll be a
I
disappointment.
mean, he comes out guns blazing against. He's going to have his opportunity right away. He comes out guns blazing against Texas.
That's Texas Tech guns.
Oh, pardon me. Oh,
Texas fans don't want to hear you say guns blazing because that's what the Texas Tech people do. They do the Red Raider thing. If he comes out horns up, I think you meant. If he comes up horns raising, then it would be a good one for him.
So it is Texas and Ohio State right out of the gate. And if Arch can come out against Ohio State, but of course he's going to be going against another guy who's arguably a top 5 quarterback in Julian Sayin. I believe in him a little bit more because of the offense he's
Look
in.
at you two. That's now the Justin versus Danny game. You're out on Sayin, you're out on Arch. One of you two is going to have to apologize on the show on September 7th.
That's very true. I wouldn't say I'm not super in on Arch either. I don't think that he has to be the number 1 pick type of guy that we thought he would be to win a national championship with his Texas team, though. Yeah. I don't think he needs to be like a superhuman or anything like that. So he can just go out there and he can just play his game and he can run a little bit. He got better at making decisions, I think, down the stretch. I think he's a good quarterback.
Well,
yeah, but a top 10 quarterback, number 2?
I don't think he's number 2.
But
I don't think either of Sayin or Arch are top 3.
In recent years, we've seen the quarterback. I mean, obviously Fernando last year, but I mean, Will Howard wasn't a great NFL prospect. He won a title for Ohio State.
Yeah.
Who was the little guy? Stetson Bennett from Georgia won one. Was
So
there.
you just said the little guy?
The short little guy. I mean, he wasn't a 6'2" NFL guy type thing. So we've seen in recent years that teams have won national titles without having the number 1 overall pick. Now again, Signetti
Doesn't hurt.
Signetti did the Signetti thing last year, and he had the number 1 pick, but. We've seen it doesn't have to be that you have the number 1 pick in the draft to win the national title. You could have, Oregon's national title with Darren Thomas, who was a really good college quarterback, but it just wasn't going to go beyond that.
Am I crazy that Sam Levitt's a little bit underrated on this list?
I'm all in on. I think Sam Levitt's really good. I think, he got hurt last year and now he goes, but I'm surprised that, because the Lane Kiffin hype plus him, I would have thought that combination would have been more, but. I think also though, I think the injury could be lingering into camp or something.
He got battered last year. So I think it's going to be interesting to see how the first couple of weeks of the season play, because there's some pretty good matchups in the first few weeks of the season.
Not in week 1. Week 2 and 3 there are. Week 1's a bad one.
There's
week
no good.
Ohio State,
there's
Texas,
no,
right?
Week 1. Do you know what your big noon kickoff, which is supposed to be the marquee game, is for week 1?
I don't even know what I'm going to have for breakfast tomorrow, so I have no idea.
Indiana versus North Texas. That's as good as they could come up with for big noon, because
North Texas is playing their 5th string punter from last year because everybody went to Oklahoma State.
But nobody. And the best game, obviously, on most likely.
And
on
you
week
looked at
1,
this schedule.
I have. Most likely, the best game on week 1 is Oregon Boise State. but that can't be Big Noon because that would be a 9 a.m. kickoff at Autzen. So they had to find different ones. But it's a really bad week 1. It's like Notre Dame, Wisconsin. But week 2 is when we get it. That's the Ohio State, Texas, and there are some other good ones. But week 1 is really bad this year. Most teams have decided to, other than say like people like Oregon who have taken on some good ones, but most teams have decided to take a pass on week 1 this year.
Well, I said the first few weeks. I didn't say the first week.
I know, but that includes one of the first few weeks would be week 1 is one of the first few weeks.
Yeah, leave it up to me to try and challenge somebody who's a wordsmith to turn a phrase.
In 0 week, the good game is, tell me how good this game is, North Carolina, TCU, in Dublin. Belichick in Dublin. Does that excite you?
Well, some of the Belichicks will be there. Some of them will be there.
That's true.
It's The Drive, sports animal in Eugene, out on the coast, KNCU, Fox Sports Newport. Will USC be more of a rival for Oregon this season? Dan Lanning was asked a question about Oregon player or Mount Rushmore. We'll kick that around with you, the fans, and if you want to join in, toll free 877-844-3484 or the Oregon Man Clinic's hotline for you at 541-844-3484. Back on the other side with The Drive.
1050 AM, 1029 FM, and the sportsanimaleugene.com. Other stations can say they cover the Ducks and Beavers, but we bring the receipts. You're listening to The Drive on the Sports Animal Eugene.
I've seen it, I've covered it. I'm Alex Rogers, your local farmer's agent in West Eugene. When you need auto, home, life, or business insurance, Farmers can help you protect everything you've worked so hard to achieve. I really enjoy what I do, and I can help you understand all your coverage options. When I'm your Farmers agent, you're not stuck at the mercy of some computer. I'm your advocate when you need help. Visit my office today at 1154 Garfield Street here in Eugene, or give me a call at 541-284-2804.
Men like to get the most out of things. We expect results when we hit the gym, and we expect to finish our weekend to-do list. We also expect ourselves to never slow down, even when some things start to get a little harder. Low testosterone levels might be slowing you down. That's when Oregon Man Clinics step in. Sharpen your focus, regain energy levels, and improve your love life with treatment options tailored to you. Get the most out of being a man. Visit us online at our Springfield, Bend, and Albany locations.
If your credit card bills have gotten out of hand, call Consolidated Credit now. If the interest rates on your credit cards are so high, it'll take years to get out of debt. Call Consolidated Credit now. They've helped over 10 million people. Without destroying your credit, they can reduce your interest rates, lower your total payments up to 50% to get you out of debt fast. For a free consultation, call Consolidated Credit now. The program works.
Call 800-499-4107. 800-499-4107. 800-499-4107.
Consolidated Credit Solutions Incorporated, 5701 West Sunrise Boulevard, Fort Lauderdale, Florida 33313. Licensed by the New York Department of Financial Services and by the Vermont Department of Financial Regulation. Kansas CSO 0019051. Maryland DM 1492. Oregon DM 892. Licensed by the Virginia State Corporation Commission, license number DC83. Service may adversely affect the individual's credit. Non-payment of debt may lead to additional finance charges or collections activity, including legal action. Actual interest rates, length of program, and monthly payment reductions will vary by consumer and creditor. Yours could be higher or lower. Not a loan company. We do not lend money.
We're with Bridget, whose husband won't be home for months, and whose daughter is due any day. We're with Mike, who's leaving home to protect his family and yours. We're with all service members and their families who need community, connection, and maybe a bit of magic. Are you with them? Learn more at uso.org today. We're with Liam after his 4th military move, when being new is starting to get old. We're with Tara during the holidays, when she misses home the most. We're with all service members and their families who need connection, comfort, and a home away from home. Are you with them? Learn more at uso.org today.
Don't change the channel. Your radio might explode. Okay, not really, but you miss a minute of The Drive, you might miss something, well, spectacular.
On we go.
The Drive is back on 102.9 FM and 1050 AM. The Sports Animal.
We start out hour number 3 talking a lot of fire. We're going to fire. Portland Fire. Protect College Sports update is on the list that I have here. Top of the hour break. But to take us up there, though, your phone calls has open lines now for pretty much the rest of the show. We're going to do our big bet segments starting at 5:30. We'll pick games first. A late substitution on the game.
A protest has been filed. A protest has been filed.
Guess who's the arbiter? Guess who gets to decide whether or not your appeal is going to be.
Brian at Coquell. I think I'm going to the top.
I am the commissioner in this. So it's Goose, who's languishing at 2-8 through a couple of weeks, but I have a feeling it's going to be a breakout week for you, Goose.
Good.
I do. I just
I'm
have
glad
that
somebody
feeling.
thinks that.
Goose is due.
Yes, that's the whole thing. And either it's going to happen or it's not. 3-2 would be better than 1-4.
It's going to happen. That's kind of the motto of my life. Either it's going to happen or it's not.
So that's our big bet segment in the last hour. Please get ready to jump in on that at 844-3484. That's 541 locally. 877-844-3484. That's our Oregon Man Clinics hotline. We're live from the Bigfoot Beverages studios. And we have an announcement for you for an expanded reach on the show next hour. We'll talk about that at the beginning of the hour next hour. It's exciting for us, and hopefully if you support us, you would be excited for us as well. This is an interesting question you brought up, Baby J, because Washington, and arguably you could say just because of the lack of overall competitiveness in the two schools, Oregon and Oregon State kind of waned as the biggest rival for the University of Oregon. It was more for Oregon State than it was for the University of Oregon. And I'm just saying, at a high level. And then Washington years ago started to displace Oregon State as Oregon's fiercest rival. It was the game like, you don't want to lose that game to Washington. Do not like the Huskies. So now USC's been trying to punch up from LA, and they've been snarky on the old social medias.
Very.
And said, just very
They
passive
love to talk.
aggressive. Yeah, they flap their gums. So the question's out there, and Baby J, since you brought it up, why don't you start with this? Is USC going to replace Washington as Oregon's biggest rival this season? And I think you're just talking about this season, right?
I'm talking about this season. I think that if USC wins, absolutely. I don't see why not. I think Washington, there's always going to be that rivalry there, especially under Dan Lanning, because of the history of those two programs during this time. But I don't know. There's something about USC, and it feels like they have to build at some point. Like at some point, and maybe it isn't under Lincoln Riley, but there's something about this USC team and the money that they've been putting into this program and the recruiting and all this stuff. It just seems to me like there's a big storyline there that if it's competitive, if USC wins that one, I could see USC being looked at, especially like you mentioned with Oregon State, because of the not playing this year and the rivalry hasn't been competitive in a while. I think it's definitely a toss-up between USC and Washington for sure.
Well, I think, and I want to hear you speak on this, Goose, as you will most eloquently, is I think back when USC was a force, Pete Carroll and such, I think USC was definitely the standard, and Oregon wanted to try and get to that standard. So you beat USC, you made your year. Not so much with Washington at that time, because there was still an opportunity. I mean, I remember when it was back in the early 2010s or whatever, that Oregon was in a streak of like winning 12 years in a row or something. Because I remember I was working for a group of folks that graduated from University of Washington, and when we had Husky Week, seriously, what I would do is I would just send an email with the number
in a row.
I would just say with the number of days it's been since the Huskies had beaten Oregon, and it was up in the thousands, and that really got under their skin. And I think Jed Fish is trying to do that, but I think the more recent history, listen, Dan Lanning did not start out well against Washington.
No.
So I think there's still that we do not want to ever lose to Washington. We want to beat Washington. So that to me is the rivalry that I think I don't think we can say a rivalry is better in 1 year or another. I think it's still lasting with Washington and Oregon. I don't think it'll ever go away.
Yeah, no, I agree. One thing I would say is I might turn the tables on your question, Justin, and say possibly this year Oregon is USC's biggest rival because Notre Dame went away and they don't play their traditional rival Notre Dame this year. And I don't see UCLA as being that. So I think USC fans would look at their schedule and say give us the one game we could win, whereas most years that would have been Notre Dame. I think it's Oregon for them. It's also different in the sense that, and it's ironic it works this way, but USC is the Pac-12 opener, and USC is and Washington is the Pac-10 finale for Oregon.
Sure.
So the way it works, yeah, I mean the USC game is a big one. I still think Washington carries more hate for Oregon fans. I don't think Oregon fans look at USC's because USC's had other rivals. And so I think Washington would be still the Oregon rival. But again, and particularly if Oregon's 10-2 going into that game and a playoff berth is on the line type thing, it would have a whole lot of meaning to it. But I think this year's USC game, I think Oregon fans, I don't think USC's beaten Oregon since 2017. And again, they haven't played every year. I think it's like 10 years. So, I mean, there are some Oregon fans who don't even remember losing to USC. So there's not as much there. Whereas, as you mentioned, there were a couple of losses to Washington, that one that knocked them out of a 4-team playoff.
Right.
And things like that. So I think that Washington still carries more, but that USC game is going to be huge this year because USC fans are going to be coming in thinking this is our chance to, it's a prove-it moment for Lincoln Riley right there. So I think that game, I mean, it means the same for both because it's important to win, but I think USC fans are looking at that more like, hey, that's our game to look at as opposed to what Oregon fans are looking at.
That's a great point that USC is more focused on this game than ever before. They always seems like they're focused on this game. I think that what I'm thinking about, at least with the Washington aspect of it, and I think that, like, you're right, the hate aspect of it, and with Dan Lanning, and he's going to want to kill Washington every single time he plays them for the rest of his Oregon career, and probably even further than that. I just think that I could see a scenario where by the time that game comes, Oregon's kind of wrapped up a playoff spot. You know, I'm not so sure about Washington this year. I think they've got a lot of talent, but as I've kind of detailed, I'm not so sure about the DeMond Williams thing. So I could see them being a team that's a solid team, but just kind of like a couple of years ago when the Ducks got their first win under Dan Lanning, where they just basically blew them out, and it just wasn't that competitive. So in that aspect, I could see it. They're just being a little bit more fire for that USC game. It's earlier in the season. Both those teams are going to be still in at that time. That's kind of what I'm thinking about.
Well, there's a long way to go to get to November 28th. That's all I'll say. And there's a long road to travel before we get to that Washington game.
And that's at Autzen this year,
yes,
right?
Yes, it's the finale at Autzen in the regular season.
I thought last year, I had thought, because the same thing it was set up, I had thought, boy, there's a scenario where Oregon goes in 10-2, and that was at Washington last year, and I thought they could literally be, you know, Husky fans could be frothing because this might be a situation to where they
could knock them out.
and they could knock them out.
Yeah.
It didn't work. I mean, Oregon only had the one loss. So again, like you were just saying, maybe last year's game up there, Oregon was in a, hey, even if you lose, you're still in. But I mean, seeding counts. I mean, if they lose that, they're probably in an 8-9 game instead of getting James Madison at home type thing. So it was, they're still, even if you're in, there's still some seeding to play for. But yeah, I think the Huskies remain the rival.
Dan Lanning's Mount Rushmore of Oregon players, the greatest Oregon players, the Mount Rushmore.
I can't wait to hear who it is.
We're going to tell you next if
Cool.
you hang around.
Cool.
Yeah, please do.
I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah, I got you chained to a chair. It's The Drive. Stay around. Last hour on a Friday. Big Bets hour as well coming up.
Sometimes they're right.
Rest my case.
Sometimes they're wrong.
You want answers. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
But no ears were harmed in the making of their disagreements.
I don't know what we're yelling about.
You're listening to The Drive on the Sports Animal Eugene.
Almost every car made over the last 10 years has a camera. Did you know that when you replace a windshield, the camera needs recalibrated? If your glass provider does...
You covered. Trust Associated Heating and Air Conditioning, Electric, and so much more. Give us a call today. CCB number 258180.
A college security officer called to tell me there was a drinking party on campus. The officer said there had been excessive drinking, and our son was in the hospital for alcohol poisoning. He said my husband and I should come as soon as we could. I knew my son would face distractions and temptations when he went away to school, He already had unfortunate experiences with alcohol, and he was a little too good at fitting in with the crowd. I had no idea things could get so much worse so fast. A nurse suggested we attend Al-Anon family groups, even though our son claimed his drinking was no big deal. He said he was not an alcoholic and that he could quit whenever he wanted. I didn't want to go to an Al-Anon meeting, but I'm sure glad I went. If someone's drinking troubling you, you might be surprised at what you can learn in an Al-Anon family group from people just like you. Call 1-888-4-AL-ANON or go to alanon.org.
Hey, Max, you look absolutely dashing in that purple tie. Ready to harness the world?
You bet, Daisy. I'm ready as I'll ever be. And might I say, your purple tie really pops with your vest.
Thanks. I almost went with a cape, but didn't want to come across as pretentious.
Nonsense. Anyone in our line of work should rock a cape.
You might be onto something, Max.
Phew. So, here we go. First day on the job. Got this, right?
Right. Don't forget, we both graduated from Dogs Inc. with honors.
Which means I can guide my human around a busy city with ease.
And I can give my human a restful night.
I hope my human is kind and loving.
And I hope mine likes wet kisses and zoomies.
Ready to make a difference?
Born ready. Let's go.
Discover how extraordinary dogs like Daisy and Max change lives at no cost to the recipients. Visit dogsinc.org.
KORE, Springfield, Eugene. I'm Steve Mims. You can listen to me on The Drive weekdays from 3 to 6 on the Sports Animal Eugene.
All right, we've made it to the 5 o'clock hour, friends. Hello. Welcome to the Sports Animal and The Drive. Justin, Steve, I'm Danny, and you're you. Yes, you are. Thanks for being you. Thanks for being with us on the YouTube, the Twitter, and the Twitch. That's where the video is. And then over the air, 102.9 FM, 1050 AM in the Valley, 92.7 KMCU. That's Fox Sports Newport out in Newport. And online, sportsanimalEUG.com. That's the stream. You can get it there and all the other information. We have a lot of things packed into a website for you to keep coming back to. And we're going to be adding more and more to it in the coming weeks. Speaking of adding to it, coming up on Monday, we will be going out to a couple of new communities. We're going to welcome in a couple of new cities to the Sports Animal family. What?
Like Deaver, Connor, and Baker City?
Oh.
Guessing.
We really, you really should get here earlier for production meetings. We are going to be welcoming on our friends at KLAD 960 AM in Klamath Falls.
Nice.
3 to 6 live. And then also our good friend Joey Kieran. By the way, Josh Eldridge down in Klamath Falls has been helping us out. Basin Radio, Basin Media Active Radio. And then our good friend Joey Kieran in Roseburg at KSKR, The Score.
Nice.
So we'll be on in Roseburg. We'll be on in Klamath Falls. Soon in other markets. So officially we'll be in 4 markets, Newport, Eugene, Roseburg, and Klamath Falls starting on Monday at 3 p.m. So boys, on your best behavior, please. We're going to be guests in other people's cities.
Can we do a remote from Running Y sometime? I love that place.
You're thinking along the right lines.
Good. I like it.
Last part of the show, as we always do on Fridays, for those who are not familiar with our little program, we do a thing called Big Bets. Coquel Casino and Resort is the presenting sponsor of that. We bet on 5 games. It's just straight up, no point spreads, no nothing like that. We pick a tiebreaker, which is going to be total runs because it's all MLB. Then we open up the phones to you. You bet against us. If you win, you get a 2-night stay at Coquel Casino and Resort. That's on them and us. $100 on your player's card. You got to be 21 or over, and you can't use it for sports betting, but you can use it on anything else. It's really nice down there, especially now. Not as much smoke, although we've gotten rid of a lot of our smoke up here. If we win, it's $100 to South Coast Special Olympics. So we love doing that. Yep.
I've been doing my best to help South Coast Special Olympics for the last couple of weeks.
You haven't made it yet.
I know.
We're still pulling for you, though. So that's in the last part of the show. So we want to talk about Portland Fire here a little bit. But we didn't get to Dan Lanning, Mountain Rushmore. And I've got another thing that the Oregon football team is doing. I read the article, and I know you probably did as well, that relates to a Los Angeles Dodger. That's called a tease. Dan Lanning was recently asked by the Journey Media, who they had time on their hands apparently, asked Dan Lanning who his all-time Mount Rushmore of Duck legends are, and he immediately said who? Who do you think he said immediately, guys?
Well, I have the list in front of me.
Okay, well,
say
then you
Marcus
can
Mariota.
Okay, that was one. Perfect. And who?
Haloti Ngata.
They're very good. You read the article.
No,
Okay,
I'm
good for you.
thinking of people who were at the draft thing we went to, who he probably has. Well, Marcus Mariota, obviously, he has Haloti Ngata's son committed to next year's recruiting class. So that there you
Yeah,
go.
makes
Always
sense.
recruiting, of course.
Correct.
Always trying to. Okay. So now, who do you think the other two were? Because they said he paused and he had to think about it a little bit more.
I would say he
Offense
said,
or defense first? Do you think?
Is there
Offense
one
or-
both? I would say
No. I'm asking you. Do you think it was offense or defense?
I would say him say defense.
Okay. No.
Oh.
Stayed on the offensive side of the ball. And again, Baby J, you can't play along with this right now because you already read the article. But
It's fun testing Goose.
This is great. We should have a little clock going, like a little tick
Yeah,
thing
I'll
going,
get the Jeopardy clock.
like a little
going.
Jeopardy clock going.
Did he say? I'm going to say he tried to go really old school. Did he say like Ahmad Rashad?
No.
That'd
Michael
be cool.
James?
Yes, LaMichael
Okay.
was the last one that he picked.
Okay.
He was thinking about putting a defensive player up there, another defensive player, but then before he said to LaMichael James, D'Anthony Thomas.
Oh wow.
And how he changed the position, Dan Lanning said.
Did he?
That's what he said. He was quoted. He did throw out a couple of honorable mentions, Dan Fouts and Panay Sewell.
Yeah.
So that was good. All right. So this was interesting.
Can I give my quick Mount
Oh, yeah,
Rushmore?
sure. Sorry. I didn't.
George Reister, Kenyon Barner.
Yeah.
Who else do we got here? Ken Woody.
Yeah, Ken Woody, former kicker. Ken Woody, 1 year, I tell Ken this, he had one catch for 4 yards. He set the single season record for fewest catches and fewest yards in a season.
But he's in the record books.
He is.
He's in the record books.
Joey Harrington. There we go. That's 4.
You could say Joey Harrington.
Yeah,
I
we
don't
talked
think
to him.
There's so many that you. I mean, it's era related as well. I mean, I think Ahmad Rashad.
That's a great one.
Was a great pick.
Yeah,
I completely agree.
Bobby Moore was the name then, but yes,
that's true. So, interesting discussion. You can have your own. Discuss that at dinner time when you have your burrito taco tonight at dinner. Oregon players are not going to have to search far to find a reminder of what they want to accomplish this season, because when they open up their lockers, they're going to see inside it team and position meeting rooms, and in the same area. So they're going to have it in team and position meeting rooms. They're going to have it in their lockers, and they've also created some of their own that they've placed in various spots where they can see them. The Ducks are using what's called the Harada method. It's a goal-setting system associated with a vision board Shohei Ohtani created as a teenager.
I had not heard of this.
This is great because I found something that you didn't find before we got on the air. So score for me. This is supposed to connect their biggest ambitions to the smaller actions that are required to do so each day. Dan Lanning said the idea developed through conversations with Corey Schaefer, who works with the team in the off-season messaging, and a local contact called Jaman Yee. I hope I'm saying that right. And he's apparently Yee sent the article about the Harada method to Coach Lanning, and they looked at it and it was just like, this is great. We're going to do vision boards for this year for goals. So that's what the Oregon team did.
I think it totally makes sense. It's something that I've had friends try to get me into, and something when I was around that age, 20-ish years old, it's definitely something important to develop goal setting. It's something that for me, I had to kind of just make it through the day so much that it was hard to really set those long-term goals. So I think it's great. I mean, I'm not saying everybody on that team is like me, like when I was in college, but I think it's important, that long-term goal setting, and it does seem like a vision board is I don't hate it as a way to really influence that.
What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, last year didn't he have the Art of War? Last year he had him doing stuff.
There's
or-
always
that's
the
what
things.
they
Dan
got.
Lanning and his team.
What was Chip had the who's the bamboo guy? Pick the bamboo or something like that.
The bamboo grows for a long time underneath the ground.
Fill the bamboo. There's, I mean, that's what college coaches do. They come up with motivational things, and good on them. I don't know that I'll be doing I don't know that I'll be doing the Harada method, but it sounds like a good idea.
Well, you could work out on your golf swing.
But for a 20
So would I. So am I. I mean, so would I. I'm not like picking on you. I'm trying to visualize a good shot
I got
every time
enough things
before I
going
do.
on in my head in a golf swing. I don't need a Harada method in there as well.
All right. So the last couple of topics we got out there, and by the way, if you want to jump on in, please do. So Brad just said water the bamboo.
There you go. Water the bamboo.
Thanks, Brad. Brad's always helpful. You can join in. 844-3484 is the number locally up here in the Eugene area and on the coast and wherever else you're listening. If you're online, if you're in Texas or you're in Connecticut, if we have somebody in Connecticut, fine. 877-844-3484. We want to hear from all comers. And if you've got anything you want to talk about that we've already talked about, or if you have something else that you want to jive to us, then you can do that because we've got about 22 minutes before we do big bets, and then we're just going to concentrate on big bets for the rest of the show. So you're going up to see Mom. You're going out to play golf this week or next week? That's next week.
Well, I think we're going actually over to play Ocean Dunes on Sunday, though. I think
Another one
wife
you
and my
didn't
son and
invite me to.
We don't take you on our coast. I mean, you want to come have a day at the beach with the Mims family?
I don't know. I never have, so I don't know if I'd like it or not.
I'm not sure that they would.
I've never been invited.
I didn't tell my wife, can we bring Danny along? I haven't gotten to that point yet.
You ever seen that?
We just bring Danny along for the week.
Have you ever seen that funny routine where it was an old clip, I'm sure you've seen it, with Doc Severinsen and Johnny Carson, and they're talking about Thanksgiving. And Doc was just recently divorced, and he was talking about how they would argue over oyster stuffing or bread stuffing. And he always wanted an oyster stuffing, and his wife, who is now his ex-wife, always wanted bread stuffing. And Johnny was like, was that the reason you broke up? He says, no, that's not the only reason. But he says right now she gets to have bread stuffing and a lot of money. But the whole routine ended up being is that Johnny Carson didn't know that Doc was going to be a quote unquote alone for Thanksgiving. And Doc was like, no, I'm not going to be alone. Who said I was going to be alone? He says, but you want to come over to my house? Johnny says to Doc. And Doc says, you've never asked me to come over for Thanksgiving before. And on national television in front of millions of people, you ask an employee if they want to come over for Thanksgiving. What do you think I'm going to say? Of course, Mr. Carson. I would love to come over for Thanksgiving. And Johnny just laughing and laughing. He says, so can you come? No. That was just my little Doc Severinsen story. You know Doc from Oregon.
Yes.
Arlington, Oregon.
I know Doc Severinsen. Do we have an affiliate in Arlington coming in?
No, the reason I dropped that, I was just waiting for you to tell me a story about how somehow you're related to Doc Severinsen, the 6 degrees of separation of Steve Mims.
I'm sure there is one, but I was hoping we were going to be on in Arlington soon.
No, I don't think there's a radio. There's the Dalles, I think, is closest, which I think reaches into Arlington. I'm not sure. Protect college sports. Do we want to protect college sports?
At all costs. Let's make sure that Ted Cruz and Maria Cantwell can protect our college sports teams.
I'm just going to say, if you have a job that you need done, call on the U.S. Congress. We'll talk about it next on The Drive.
Nothing is too big for the sports animal to handle. That's what she said. You're home for me, Dan Patrick, 6 to 9 a.m. weekdays, and The Drive with Danny, Steve, and Justin from 3 to 6. This is the sports animal.
Oh, no.
Wait, man. We're from Discount Windows, the home of no pressure.
Last guy could learn from you.
That bad, huh?
He's pushing 4 years, the same as cash, with installation. Price is so high, it'd take me at least 4 years to pay it off.
What the?
His other offer was no payments for 2 years.
Who wants that hanging over their head?
Plus, life happens.
Right?
At Discount Windows, our installation is often a fraction of their price, and we offer 18 months, same as cash, on approved credit.
Spend less, pay it off sooner, and move on with your life.
I love it.
And we have a great selection of Energy Star certified Milgard windows and Milgard doors.
I got coffee brewing.
To throw at that last guy?
Discount Windows, open 7 days a week. We're at 1635 Juniper in Junction City, right behind our old lot. We have your Milgard windows and doors on site.
Discount Windows,
We do windows,
doors,
and installation for less.
CCB 180018. Iconic summer moments deserve an iconic drink. Reach for Mountain Dew, an American original. From its beginnings in the foothills of Tennessee to your biggest summer yet. The refreshing citrus kick of Mountain Dew is the perfect companion to your American summer adventures. Enjoy the refreshing citrus kick of Mountain Dew. Tasting great since '48. Look for Mountain Dew in stores near you at mountaindew.com. That's mountaindew.com.
When you're in Rome, you visit the Colosseum. When you're in France, you visit the Eiffel Tower. And when you're in Eugene, you visit Tracktown Pizza, Eugene's best pizza and a Eugene cultural icon for over 40 years. Great pizza, growlers to go, and Tracktown Pizza delivers to all of Eugene and Springfield. Tracktown Pizza, the best pizza in town. Call 541-284-8484 or visit tracktownpizza.com.
Hi, this is Drew from Dalton Carpet on West 11th in Eugene. Dalton Carpet is family owned and operated and proud to serve you for 30 years. Now more than ever, someone you know is walking on a Dalton floor. Do you have a flooring project? Get your summer off to a new start. Lane County's best selection with hundreds of rolls of carpet and thousands of feet of click-together flooring on display and in stock right now at unbeatable prices. Come see us today at Dalton Carpet, right here on West 11th in Eugene.
As a parent, you said you'd never give up the convertible. Look, the van even has its own backing. You said you'd never schedule your life around a stuffed animal. Nobody panic. Bun is still at daycare. And never put them in harm's way. I'll be right back, little man. Just gonna pop in the store for diapers. But never happens. Temperatures as low as 60 degrees can be deadly for children left behind. So always bring them with you every time you park the car. Stop, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
1050 AM and 1029 FM and the sportsanimaleugene.com. Broadcasting from the Bigfoot Beverages Studios. You're listening to The Drive on the Sports Animal Eugene.
Big bets coming up right here. And that in the last couple of segments. So we're going to take a break in about 10 minutes from now. And then bottom of the hour, we will make our picks. And then you get to pick against 5 games, all Major League Baseball, no run spreads or anything like that, and we'll have a total run for a tiebreaker. And so most of the guys here know we all now know what the games are, but we're not going to tell them to you until we're telling them to each other. Bottom of the hour. Okay, so Protect College Sports Update. This is a act that was introduced in May, trying to establish a uniform national framework for college athletics, including NIL, transfer, and antitrust, supposedly to codify the student-athlete NIL rights, make it more transparent, the requirements, folding it all into a federal statute, yay. Targeted antitrust exemptions to allow standard governance of rules, transfers, and media rights. I'm getting tired just reading it. Standardizing transfer and eligibility guidelines, such as regulating repeat transfers. Talk about that a lot. I mean, there's kids that are literally every single year for 4 years going to a different school, chasing money.
Absolutely.
Or an opportunity. Mandating extended healthcare frameworks and scholarship securities for athletes. Some of the steps wants to protect the athletes. Now, what's interesting is that the SEC and Big Ten, who are the big kahunas in the room, they carry the biggest sticks, biggest media rights that they have. They have started to move towards, as a collective, backing most of what's in this act because it's been modified a bit. The ones that are objecting the most to this act are the Congressional Black Caucus, because of representation and some political stances on their amendments, including discussions around biological sex in women's sports, so trans athletes, and complicating that it's not been able to get through a full Senate vote. So, guys, do we need to protect college sports? That's the bigger question.
We don't need to protect it. If we want to improve it or alter it, that's fine. I don't believe this is protecting anything. I mean, yeah, some of I mean, it basically, is bringing in some kind of salary caps, which is interesting because the thing about this that would be the most interesting to me is that currently the way NC2A rules are set up, nobody's afraid to break them because they think that it's very unlikely that they would be caught. The NC2A doesn't really enforce, and the NC2A punish. And if you get busted, there's probably not going to be a whole lot of things. Would that change if suddenly breaking an NC2A rule was now breaking a federal law? Would you now, as a coach, be like, okay, yeah, like I wasn't worried about the NC2A coming in and slapping us on the wrist, but if somebody decides to, claim that we're breaking a federal law, that to me would be the one interesting thing out of this, the repercussions from it. I like you, I haven't dived deep enough into it. I've listened to a lot of podcasts, people talking about it. I know that obviously it includes a lot of things like you mentioned with, salary caps, transfer rules, this and that. I think that NC2A needs some, it would be nice to have, it would just be nice if we'd have had an NC2A commissioner who could do this rather than making our U.S. senators, who I would have wished would have more important things on their hands this year before the recess this weekend. But college sports could always use some improvement. I don't think we need to protect it, though. And I don't think that Ted Cruz and Maria Cantwell are protecting college football.
I saw someone make an interesting point about whenever you have pro sports in politics, you're 50% of the time you're not going to like the result, right? Because that's just how politics are. 50% of the time you're not going to agree with whatever's happening, and so half the time, if you have some sort of ruling, you're not going to like it. I do think that it doesn't seem like it's going to pass, this Protect College Sports Act, but I think what's interesting about it is there are some of the things like you talked about that are moving it forward in a way. But to me, it almost seems like it's sort of this like, we're going to go back to the way it was. I just don't think that that's really possible at this point. I think that you have to figure out a way to move forward, and I don't think you can move backward to move forward.
The Oregon Man Clinics hotline, 541-844-3484, toll free, 877-844-3484. If you missed any of the show, go back to the podcast, go back to the YouTube channel, go back to Twitch, go back to Twitter, and it's on there. Do you want to replay the whole thing? You want to find bits and pieces of it? Go for it, because it'll be up and all ready for you once we're done with the program. Sports Animal EUG on all the socials. That's also our website, sportsanimalEUG.com. And we are going to be on in 2 more markets starting on Monday. Woohoo! Klamath Falls and Roseburg. We are going to welcome you into the Sports Animal family, and we'll become the Sports Animal Network. Look at us go. Big bet's coming up in about 10 minutes. Here's my final thought on this. This is kind of the genie out of the bottle thing. This is so reactionary now because of how this was bungled from the beginning with name, image, and likeness, where the NCAA basically was toothless, and they allowed this thing to spin out of control. And it's, as Justin, as you and I have said before, it's the Wild Wild West now with all of this. So now, yes, it does need to be pulled back. But what now we're going to do is, I love the phrase whack-a-mole, because it's now going to be, you're going to put these rules in place. And what are rules? Just something that can be skirted. You're going to find a loophole. Someone's going to sue. So we're just going to keep tying up the court system with nonsense, honestly. I mean, even the thought of the next step of unionizing college athletes. And I think there's some validity to making sure that the majority of collegiate athletes, but in all sports, I mean, this is driven by football, but what about the lacrosse player? What about the soccer player? What about the volleyball player? What about, pick another sport, an Olympic sport, or a non-revenue generating sport? Those kids still are putting out just as much effort. They're still on buses and planes and trains and automobiles, and they're trying to balance schoolwork with an athletic endeavor. What about those kids? They get all lost in all of this because it's driven by one revenue sport, and football. So if we're going to, quote unquote, throw the word of protect out, where is that built in for them? That would be my big question.
It's the same rule. I mean, it's the same transfer. Everything that's happening with football and that thing, as far as I know, is the same. But yeah, I mean, it's the whole reason that in a better world, college football is in its own deal, and we just regionalize everything else like it used to be and let them be. But unfortunately,
the schools, I mean, Steve, you see it. Justin, you see it. the schools, it is like this black hole of revenue push is all driven into football. I mean, yeah, they're generating most of it, but sports like when we have the discussion about Dana Altman, what's the discussion? Is Oregon going to fund Dana Altman and asking for maybe a tenth of what the football program gets?
Mm-hmm.
So that's where the disparity and inequity of it. And listen, we don't see the numbers. We don't have a spreadsheet that knows exactly how much.
Gianzante gave us some numbers the other day.
He did give us some on what athletes were being paid or what they got in another school. But that's kind of where I'm driving this conversation towards. If we're going to start doing that, we're going to really then let's regulate it. Otherwise, we can't keep repeating the mistakes. And the NCAA has been the most ineffective organization from top to bottom when it comes to these type of things, going all the way back to Mark Emmert and how it was just a blind eye to everything. And they're not even an enforcement body anymore within their own organization, the NCAA. I want to see a commissioner. I want to see somebody who's going to drive this thing, and then you can point to that person and go, that's the one that's leading us. That's the one that can be the final arbiter. People don't like Roger Goodell or Adam Silver or others, but you know what? You know who the boss is. You know who's going to make that final decision. And we don't have that in the NCAA right now. Charlie Baker, nice guy. I think he's out of his depth on this kind of stuff. It's way, way over what he can do. So there you go. I'm done processing.
What kind of person do you think would make the most sense if they were going to be commissioner?
Steve Mims.
It's got to be somebody that's got to be in all those areas, right?
Steve Mims.
I'll take it.
Yeah. I think Goose would be a perfect one. You know why? Because Steve
is not a fan.
No,
not a fan.
Okay, now this is what you say. You love sports.
I do love sports.
Okay, so there's a difference between being fanboy and loving sports, and I think you have that right balance. I teeter more to the fan side of things, but I can pull back and be someone who just loves sports and wants to see for the good of the game, to use that trite term. But you need somebody who is skilled in business, skilled in law, and loves sports, but isn't fanboy. So who is that? I have no idea.
Former athletic director, like something like that?
Could be. But I mean, again, I'm throwing out Steve Mims right now.
Well, it's like the Kirk guy. Charlie Baker came in from the political side because they knew they were going to be getting into these things, and they wanted kind of basically a lobbyist for them. And so that's why he's kind of the past NCAA presidents have always been kind of former college presidents. It's always been academic side.
Yeah.
This is the first side they had, kind of the political side. So yeah, because now you're going to have, we've talked about, you have a college football commissioner and then the other things. So I don't know that anybody would be. I'd put Rob Mullins up for it. I think Rob Mullins is a really smart and fair guy, and he'd probably, if he's listening, was like, no, please don't give me that job. I don't want it. But I'd put a guy like Rob Mullins up there who I think could be your judge right down the middle and see right from wrong and what the sport needs moving forward.
So, and the thing we need to stay away from is please don't make another committee. Just please don't make another committee. It's exhausting.
More meetings? I know you love meetings.
You see the candle on my desk, right?
No, I haven't.
Have you read that candle?
No.
I'm going to go get the candle on my
All
desk, and I'm going to let you guys read it because I think it perfectly encapsulates what I think about when it comes to meetings. All right, when we come back, hey, it's time for Big Bets on a Friday. Woohoo, baby. The Oregon Medical Clinic's hotline at 541-844-3484, toll free, 877-844-3484. You are locked into the drive on the Sports Animal.
1050 AM, 1029 FM, and the SportsAnimalEugene.com. Other stations can say they cover the Ducks and Beavers, but we bring the receipts. You're listening to The Drive on the Sports Animal Eugene.
I've seen it, I've covered it. I'm Alex Rogers, your local farmer's agent in West Eugene. When you need auto, home, life, or business insurance, Farmers can help you protect everything you've worked so hard to achieve. I really enjoy what I do, and I can help you understand all your coverage options. When I'm your Farmer's agent, you're not stuck at the mercy of some computer. I'm your advocate when you need help. Visit my office today at 1154 Garfield Street here in Eugene, or give me a call at 541-284-2804.
It kind of sneaks up on you. You're more tired than you should be, a little less focused, a little less motivated. Maybe you've gained a little weight. It's normal. A lot of men experience it, but that doesn't mean you have to live with it. At Hale Men's Clinic, personalized testosterone therapy can help you restore your energy, your clarity, your edge. Real solutions, real results. Hale Men's Clinic. Feel good now. Curious about your levels? Walk into Hale Men's Clinic in Eugene, Bend, or Roseburg for your free testosterone test today. More info at halemensclinic.com.
Are you curious about who offers the best deals on top-rated Samsung, LG, and Sony TVs? The answer is surprising. It's not online, and it's not the warehouse clubs. The best deals on top-rated TVs are at Video Only. Don't believe it? Then check out the trade-in deals at Video Only. How about $500 for your old TV? Try doing that online. Before you buy that new TV, drop into Video Only. If you don't, you'll be sorry.
Wildfire season is coming. Are you ready? All it takes is one small ember to level a home. Reduce any fire hazards around your home and property to prevent an escaped fire from spreading out of control and to protect your home from an oncoming wildfire. It's called Defensible Space, and it works. Go to keeporegongreen.org to learn more.
Hello?
Where are you? It's sweating. I thought you were coming.
Oh, I can't. I'm in bed with the flu.
The flu?
I wish I did. I can't believe I'm missing out on Greg's wedding.
Whoa.
Grandma's about the what? What? Oh, man.
Sounds like another case of flu FOMO. Don't get stuck at home with the flu. A flu shot is safe, effective, and you can get it at the same time as your COVID-19 vaccine. A flu shot is the best way to prevent the flu and its potentially serious complications. It keeps you protected and also protects your loved ones. Protecting our community can't wait. So why get stuck inside with the flu? Don't get flu FOMO. Learn more at getmyflushot.org.
Brought to you by the AMA, CDC, and the Ad Council.
Don't change the channel. Your radio might explode. Okay, not really. But you miss a minute of the drive, you might miss something, well, spectacular.
On we go.
The Drive is back on 102.9 FM and 1050 AM. The Sports Animal. Big winners and participation trophies for the rest. Time to play big bets on The Drive.
You can do it.
Presented by Coquel Casino and Resort.
All right, here's how we play the game. If you haven't played along with us before, we will have 5 contests, no point spreads. We just go straight up and down. And a tiebreaker game. We pick our games first, and then we'll take a break. We'll come back, take your phone calls for as long as we can until the top of the hour. And as many people get in, they get to play along. It's free. If you, the listener, beats our best record, okay, you will win a 2-night stay at Coquel Casino and Resort with $100 on your player's card. You got to be 21 or over. You got to sign up for the player's card, but it's free. So it's fun. And if we win, meaning Justin, I, Brian, or Laura, Steve as well. Yeah, Steve plays. Then South Coast Special Olympics gets $100. Cool, right? Coquel Casino and Resort sponsoring it. Here we go. You guys ready?
I feel like I should apologize to South Coast Special Olympics for my performance and keeping them from winning money.
So here's the thing. Do you want to go first in each one or last?
I'll go
first. So you can...
I'll try to...
Well, I mean, so you can listen to everybody else's, and I already know what one of them is. I already wrote that one in.
Okay. Maybe I'll surprise you.
You will not. All right, so here we go. Atlanta... I'm going to give the away team first in this as well. Okay, Atlanta is at New York, the Yankees. Baby J.
I am going to go with Atlanta. Like we're playing a little bit more recently.
Laura and Brian are both going with Atlanta. I'm going to go with the Yankees. They're at home. First game of actually, this would be second. These are all Saturday games, by the way. I thank you.
Many of them are currently underway right now.
Okay. So, Saturday games, just to remember that. Goose, everyone else is out in Atlanta right now.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on the Yanks. Garrett Cole's doing well. The Atlanta's on like an 8-game win streak, but maybe that ends tonight, or if not, I think it ends tomorrow.
All right, so Goose and I have the Yankees. Justin, Laura, and Brian.
Pitching matchup, though.
It's a great pitching matchup.
Yeah.
All right, so the next one is the White Sox at home against the Cleveland Indians, otherwise known as the Guardians. I will never call it.
You will always say the Indians and then the Guardians.
Yes, that's what I always say because that's the way I grew up knowing them, and that's the way I understand the political nature of everything, but they're the Indians to me. Goose, you get to go first.
Gavin Williams, I think he's had like 5 straight games with 10+ strikeouts. So give me the Guardians.
Cleveland. I'm not betting against the White Sox the way they've been playing, especially at home. So I'm going to go White Sox. Laura goes with the Sox. And Brian takes Cleveland. Baby J.
I'm going to go with the Sox, too. Yeah, I think the way they've been playing, it's been fun to watch.
All right, Steve, there you go. You're on Cleveland. Maybe a chance for a rebound here. Our next game, staying in the cross-city rivalries, Minnesota-Milwaukee cross-division rivalries as well. So Minnesota's at Milwaukee. Baby J, you start.
I like to pick teams that I like to root for, but I want to win as well. So I'm going to pick the Brewers here.
They've been hot as of late. Laura takes Minnesota. Brian, Milwaukee. I will take Minnesota.
Ooh, hope you're right.
Give me the Brew Crew.
I kind of have a good feeling about you this week. I think this might be your week, buddy.
I hope so.
All right, here's the one that I had to throw in at the last minute because you just had to poke the bear. So you kept bringing it up.
Okay.
So you're going to speak it into existence. Cubs are at the Royals.
1-0 Royals right now, by the way. 1-0 Royals kicking out for Friday.
Too bad.
Hey,
these are
watch out for
Saturday
those
games.
Cubs, though.
Saturday games. Cubs like to wait until the end.
Exactly.
That's fun.
So, all right, Cubs and Royals. I know everybody knows who Baby J and I are picking. We're both taking the Cubs.
Yeah, taking the Cubs, yeah.
Laura and Brian are both taking the Cubs. So
I think we know.
Let's go Royals, baby. I'm more than happy with that one.
My fiendish plan works to perfection. All right, so by the way, you want to start loading up the phones, you can at 541-844-3484, the Oregon Man Clinics hotline. By the way, folks, we have a new phone system here. We can stack up calls. So you can be on hold. You can be listening to what we're doing as we're doing it. And then when we go to our commercial break, we come back to you. We can do these on rapid fire if you want. Toll free, 877-844-3484. All right, last game. This is our tiebreaker game as well, total runs. The Dodgers, who have been just slumping like crazy, are away. They're taking on the Diamondbacks, the Serpents of Arizona. You get to start.
My fantasy baseball team.
You know what? Every single time we do this, there is at least one fantasy baseball reference by
My
you.
fantasy baseball team, the Pine Tar Bats, that's the name of them, has had a resurgence thanks largely in part to the free agent pickup of one Brandon Pfaadt. And Brandon,
I love that name, by the way.
And Brandon Pfaadt is pitching tomorrow for the Arizona Diamondbacks, and I think he's going to help the Pine Tar Bats and my fantasy team get a win as well. So give me Brandon Pfaadt and the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Baby J, what's your strong thoughts here?
I don't want to pick Dodgers, but I got to pick against Goose. So I'm going to pick the Dodgers. It's going to come back to bite me like LSU.
It's a safe bet betting against me these days.
Laura takes the Dodgers. Brian takes the Dodgers. So now this is what's interesting, Goose. You and I are on opposites of every game except for the Yankee Atlanta game.
Guess this is my chance.
So do I play the odds? Do I feel you're going to break your slump?
Slump buster?
I'm going to go Arizona.
All right.
And you know why I'm going Arizona?
Because you know that Brandon Pfaadt has been a specialist on my fantasy baseball team?
No. Our buddy Tim Tawa.
Yeah, Timmy Tawa.
There you go.
Timmy Tawa. John Tawa's pride and joy playing for the Diamondbacks, Oregon's own. So we need to do total runs. So, Goose, I'll let you go first with total runs.
Which game?
This is the Arizona Dodger game.
Well, Brandon Pfaadt's not giving up any runs, obviously, because I'm needing him for my fantasy team. So let's go with 3.
I knew. See, I said it at the same time you did.
Wow.
You know why? Because he hates entertainment.
I was going to go like 1 or 2. So I'm kind of mad that you're going to box me in there if I do that.
Okay, so Baby J, you can go next.
I'll go 4. I wanted to pick low scoring. I like the pitching matchup.
Do you realize the last time we did this, there was like 11 runs scored combined? Now, this is combined between the two teams. Okay. What did Lauren Bryan have, by the way? Because I didn't write those down here.
Laura, I'm gonna have to go grab hers again. I forgot it off the top of my head. And Brian did text me. His is 10. I think Laura's was 9.
Okay. So that leaves me. I'm going to go 6.
I'll get a text if I was wrong.
Well, it's locked in. I wrote it in pen. I'm not changing it. Too many times I'm scratching stuff out. All right, so let's review the picks. First game, Atlanta and the Yankees. Myself and Goose are both taking the Yankees. Justin, Laura, and Brian are all on Atlanta. Cleveland at the White Sox of Chicago. I am on the Sox. So is Justin. So is Laura. Steve and Brian are taking Cleveland. Minnesota and Milwaukee. It's Justin, Steve, and Brian on Milwaukee. Myself and Laura have Minnesota. Cubs and Royals. A clean sweep across the board except for Goose, who's sticking with Kansas City.
And I was just telling you, I've got my my buddy Dave, who I'm on this golf trip next week, just texted me and said we're going to bet greens fees for one round. If the Royals just can take one of the 3, I get the free greens fee. And
So
if they get swept, then I have to pay for his.
So you could be home tonight.
I could. I could.
Royals and Cubs are playing tonight.
I'd like that, but
Goose,
I'd really like that.
What's the like saying? Like we got fly the W for the Cubs. Like what's the Royals thing?
It's like crowns, something to do with the crowns.
All right.
Let's try and get out of the parking
Big
lot.
Blue, go Big Blue, crowns up, things like that. We don't have a lot of sayings with the Royals. We're kind of
old
We're kind of
school.
simple folk.
Last game is Dodgers and Diamondbacks. Dodgers for Justin, Laura, and Brian. Goose and I are on Arizona. Tiebreaker, Brian at 10, Laura at 9, I'm at 6, Justin at 4, and Steve is going to wake up halfway through the game tomorrow and hope somebody scored a run. 3 runs. All right, so we'll take our break. When we come back, we'll open up the phones for you. The Oregon Man Clinic's hotline at 541-844-3484. Toll free at 877-844-3484. It is The Drive. It is Big Bets presented by Coquel Casino and Resort. Hop on board if you want and give us your picks against us here on The Drive.
Sometimes they're right.
Rest my case.
Sometimes they're wrong.
You want answers. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
But no ears were harmed in the making of their disagreements.
I don't know what we're yelling about.
You're listening to The Drive on the Sports Animal Eugene.
Hi, Brad and my son AJ here with a word of encouragement from Cottage Grove Chevy. In these uncertain economic times, know that Cottage Grove Chevy is here for you today
and tomorrow. Your need for a vehicle isn't going away. We aren't either.
We're proud to serve our customers for over 35 years, and we truly consider it a privilege.
Your support is greatly appreciated.
Cottage Grove Chevy is proud to be part of our community, and we're here for you. Thank you.
The plans you have for your property need the right equipment. Kubota has reliable tractors, utility vehicles, and mowers to help you make the most of your land, along with strong dealer support. Stop by today to explore our lineup. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment for 0% financing or save up to $3,500, plus a first-year K-maintenance service on us. Now through September 30th. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com/disclaimers for full disclaimer.
Mid-Valley Tractor in Eugene. 40 years, family owned. Find them at midvalleytractor.com.
Millions of Americans are glued to their TV weekly, watching a sport they love. Come and relive your childhood at A&J Sports Cards. They have a wide variety of sports cards and memorabilia. Eugene's home for collecting is A&J Sports Cards. Whether you're looking for the stars from the past or the present, you'll find them at A&J Sports Cards. They are here to meet your hobby needs. That's A&J Sports Cards, 1478 West 6th Avenue, 541-343-5561.
Hi, I'm Kevin Love. Sony Pictures Animation's film GOAT is out now, and we've created something special to go with it. Inspired by the film, GOAT Beyond the Game is a free curriculum that gives kids creative ways to support their emotional well-being. Designed to help kids build their confidence, stay focused, and navigate their emotions, the program brings the film's core themes into the classroom through fun activities. These are evidence-based tools that actually work and will help kids discover they have the power to change the game. Visit kevinlovefund.org and download it today for your classroom or family.
If your credit card bills have gotten out of hand, call Consolidated Credit now. If the interest rates on your credit cards are so high, it'll take years to get out of debt. Call Consolidated Credit now. They've helped over 10 million people. Without destroying your credit, they can reduce your interest rates, lower your total payments up to 50% to get you out of debt fast. For a free consultation, call Consolidated Credit now. The program works.
Call 800-499-4107. 800-499-4107. 800-499-4107.
Consolidated Credit Solutions Incorporated, 5701 West Sunrise Boulevard, Fort Lauderdale, Florida 33313. Licensed by the New York Department of Financial Services and by the Vermont Department of Financial Regulation. Kansas CSO 0019051. Maryland DM 1492. Oregon DM 892. Licensed by the Virginia State Corporation Commission, license number DC83. Service may adversely affect the individual's credit. Non-payment of debts may lead to additional finance charges or collections activity, including legal action. Actual interest rates, length of program, and monthly payment reductions will vary by consumer and creditor. Yours could be higher or lower. Not a loan company. We do not lend money.
Nothing is too big for the sports animal to handle. That's what she said. Your home for me, Dan Patrick, 6 to 9 a.m. weekdays, and The Drive with Danny, Steve, and Justin from 3 to 6. This is the sports animal.
By the way, big thanks to Travis Rooke-Ley from Ducks Rising and Jeff Lyle from the Springfield Drifters, who were our guests on the program today. If you missed their interviews, go back to the podcast or go back to the YouTube. Maybe I should just turn the cameras on so everyone can see our smiling faces on the YouTube. Hello. Not going to tell Goose to wave. He got mad at me last time. Let's see.
I'll wave when I want to wave. I
Don't
wave
tell
when
him to
people
boo
tell me
either.
to wave. I don't boo either. I don't wave. I don't do the wave. I certainly don't do the wave.
He doesn't do the fan thing either.
Nope.
But he probably needs a fan right now.
Do you like Christmas?
I love Christmas.
Okay, good. There's still hope for your soul. All right, we got our picks done here in the Big Bet segment, so now it's your turn. Oregon Man Clinic's hotline open for you locally at 541-844-3484, toll free 877-844-3484. It's pretty easy. You just pick the 5 games that we just picked. There's no science to this, folks. A lot of it's just pure luck, and if you listen to this program, you know you've got a pretty good chance of winning.
Absolutely. We do not always have the most success, but we do have fun.
We do have fun.
Yes, we do. So your chance. I got about 10 minutes here that we'll have dad joke to close out the show. And also want to pre-welcome in our good friends in Klamath Falls at KLAD and in Roseburg at KSKR. They're going to be joining the Sports Animal Network on Monday. So we'll be in a couple of new markets and adding on a couple new markets before the end of the month as well, as we get ready to move into football season. And this is where Big Bets gets really fun. When we start doing football games, man, it is.
Can't get there soon enough from getting me out of baseball and WNBA and World Cup.
You're the one that picked WNBA last week.
World Cup and all these other things.
World Cup was kind of fun. I didn't know anything about it.
I thought it was great.
Well,
I know,
you're
I'm
different
special
than everybody else. Also on the YouTube, the Twitter, and the Twitch, if you want to go into the comment section and give us your picks off the games, then you can. I'll run down the games for you again. Atlanta and the Yankees. Cleveland taking on the White Sox. Again, these are just straight up and down. These are all tomorrow games. These are all Saturday games. Minnesota is at Milwaukee. Chicago taking on Kansas City. There's a side wager, apparently, for a round of golf between Goose and one of his buddies.
It was 1-0 Royals when we last checked in with our beloved teams, and now it's 4-1 Cubs.
See how quickly it turns?
Bad turn of events for the good guys.
And then Dodgers and Arizona, our last game. And that's the total run game for a tiebreaker. So you give us the winners, you think, and then the total run scored between the two teams, the Dodgers and Arizona. The high one right now is Brian with 10, and the low, shockingly, is Goose with 3. So next week on the program, we're going to dive a lot more into the Pac-12. So we'll have more of a runaround on what happens in the Pac-12, the new Pac-12. Only 8 teams in the Pac-12.
Right.
So, and I don't see that changing in 2027 either. I would imagine that if they're going to make any moves, they'll make them this off season for another year down the road. So 2028, I think that I could see them getting to 10.
Why did they just call it the Pac-8? Why did they call it that? I mean, they rebranded the whole thing. It's been out for a couple years. Why not come back? Why keep the 12 that reminds us all of what teams used to be in there and not just go with the Pac 8 and make it I mean, people would remember the Pac 8 from the 60s and 70s, but why do that?
I think there was a perception that it would be like a move backwards. You know, I mean, they were, again, I think I threw out the theory
How about
that
the grade 8? We just get rid of Pac, the grade 8.
So I'm just saying.
Or just the 8.
The Elite 8. The 8. I like that. The 8.
Do they? I think NCAA has like the Elite 8, Final 4. So they have those like trademarked or copyrighted or whatever. People can't use them for any other tournaments. I think that's true. Just like the Super Bowl.
How about 8 is enough?
You know?
Did that show? Does
Dick Van Patten.
Does Grant Goody still have the patent on 8 is enough?
Oh my gosh.
Willie Ames. Does Willie Ames and Scott Baio?
Wow,
you've
got a memory like a steel trap, my friend. A steel trap. This is The Drive, Sports Animal in Eugene, 102.9 FM, 1050 AM, and out on the coast, 92.7. So the Oregon Man Clicks hotline for you at 844-3484, toll free, 877-844-3484. You want to call in, you can pick against us. The games are out there for you, and we'll have a few more minutes if you want to jump on board and give us your thoughts and your call. So again, I talked about the Pac-12. We'll go around the horn on that next week. You're going to be only in the studio for a couple of days. We're also going to be out at Pine Ridge on Friday.
Saddened. I was invited to play in that golf tournament. I'm obviously not here, but I
love
that tournament.
You were invited a couple of times.
Yeah, I'm sure. I don't know why people would invite me to be on their golf team, but it must be my personality because my golf score certainly wasn't going to help anybody. But I'm sad not to be there, and the good people of in Bushnell put on a great tournament.
Yeah, so we'll be out there. It's 32nd Annual Bushnell Invitational. We're going to do the show live from the practice facility in a new practice complex.
Nice.
That Bushnell has built out there at Pine Ridge. So if you haven't already signed up for the tournament, I know there's some afternoon flights. It's 2 flights, morning and afternoon. I know there's some afternoon flight teams still available in the tournament, but it will probably sell out before like Wednesday. So if you want to get in on it, it's a great value and a great cost. It's a fundraiser for Bushnell University. You can contact Bushnell through their website and the foundation, and Allie Savage will take care of you. All right. So again, we'll be out there. I'm going to play in the morning, and then we're going to broadcast in the afternoon, and you're going to be gone.
I'm going to be gone. I actually was invited. The invite I got was for the afternoon flight, so I would have missed the show anyway.
No,
but I could have stopped when I was.
No, pause right there. No, you would have missed the golf because you would have been on the show if you were in town.
Boss, I forgot the boss told me that. Or else I would have just played and then was so what that you're going to be right on the
14th.
It's like the 14th hole, yeah.
Yeah.
I would have just stopped and done a segment on the 14th
Oh,
hole before I
just
teed off.
stop in and grace us with your presence. Well, we need to get your big bets for next week because you're not going to be on the show Friday.
That's true.
So we'll have a live version of Big Bets out at the golf course next week. So next week, as I said, that is going to be pretty much the rundown of what we're doing next week. Again, last call for bets coming up here on the Oregon Man Clicks hotline, 541-844-3484, toll free, 877-844-3484. That's the phone number. On the Twitter, on the YouTube, and on the Twitch, there's a little comment section there. You can put your bets in there if you want, if you remember the games. Or if you want to ask me the games again, I can
People
put
still
them
do it on the Twitter.
we took that one. But you can go on to the Sports Animal EUG and you can put them on there as well.
Okay.
Yeah, you can put them out there. I don't know if we put the games out there though. I didn't. Maybe they're out there. Maybe they're not. I'll leave the floor open for anybody else if they want to jump on in.
I think the games are, like I say, the pitching matchups are interesting because we have Sale versus Cole. That's a good one. And then Gavin Williams, like I said, I don't even, and then Anthony Kay of the White Sox. So, and the great Brandon Pfaadt versus Yamamoto for the Dodgers. So I think the pitching matchups make some interesting ones here. But again, baseball is, you try to make a living betting baseball. I wish you great luck because I don't know how you would be able to be a gambler this time of year. Certainly I'm not doing well myself.
All right, we'll close it off. So we'll have the results on Monday. We won't wait until Thursday. Partially because I lost my list last week. I couldn't find it, so I had to go back and listen to the show.
How'd the podcast sound?
Podcast sounded good.
I listened last night. It's funny. I was home. My wife was out of town last night, and I actually turned it on and was listening to part of. I think yesterday's show was already up when I got home last night, and I was listening to some of that. And yeah, it did sound good. I thought the recording sounded good on the podcast.
Yeah, so we're improving things, and the video, it's been the new thing. Everyone's all the rage, and then we have Baby J cuts everything up and puts it out on the social medias, and you get a lot of Baby J on the social medias. Man, he's all over it.
Yeah, and I went back and watched some of the Bill Wagner, Josh Line on the clip from there. So that was a good one this week as well.
So that was the big announcement earlier this week on Wednesday, where we have formed a relationship with Willamette High School. So we are now going to be the home of Willamette High School football in the fall. So that's going to be exciting. And they've got a brutal schedule, but I'll tell you what, Josh Line's got a really, really good team. So that'll be fun. We'll have all season long. We'll have also be doing a coaches show on Tuesday nights with Josh and some other athletes and some other sports highlighted on that somewhere in the community. We're going to take it out somewhere, and that'll be a fun engagement for the folks at Willamette High School, which they've already started out being great partners. And I loved being able to bring high school play-by-play back. It's been, I think Brian and I were talking about, and Brian Beeman's going to be the main voice for it, is I think it's been 10, 15 years since there's been local high school play-by-play in the market consistently.
Yeah, I think you're right. No, I remember I used to, when I was covering high school, I would always run at halftime into the car to turn on the radio to see what kind of was going on in another game or two around town. But
well,
yeah,
you were
that's been a
listening to
while.
me, probably.
I probably was. But yeah, that was probably 10 years ago. I mean, well, shoot, I stopped covering high school in 13. So yeah, 13 years ago, at least 15 years ago.
Cleveland is up on the White Sox 6-1 right now, top of the fifth, one out.
Well, let's hope that this is the same case tomorrow, because we need the Guardians.
Okay. If you say so. Do I need the Guardians with you? Yes. No.
No, that was the one
White
that
Sox
you
do.
had different from me. I need the Guardians.
Okay. Yeah, well, that. I don't care as much when it comes to what you need right now. So
Danny doesn't recognize the Guardians.
That's true. I forgot about that. I forgot about that.
I just that whole that's a topic for another show.
It is.
It truly is. Are you guys looking forward to football?
Totally.
I'm looking forward to football.
Totally looking forward to it. Both college and NFL.
Yeah.
It's gonna be awesome.
Right around the corner. Do you guys? Did any of you? We didn't even talk about it. Any of you watch the Hall of Fame game? I didn't. And apparently it was one of the more entertaining ones.
Yeah, apparently it was great.
63. It was
Carson Beck and Haynes King put on a show, but no, I didn't watch it. I was out having a drink with my friend Danny Havel.
Yes, you were. That was a blast. We had a good time. But yeah, 33-30. And apparently Carson Beck, I had it on the Sports Bites earlier today. Apparently he showed up a little bit. But I mean, you're going against third stringers. You're going against a lot of guys who are not going to be.
Not going against Hall of Famers?
You're not going to be.
Hall of Famers are on the sideline.
Yeah, you're not going to be seeing them in the games this Sundays. They're not. Then a lot of them aren't even going to make practice squads, which, it's unfortunate. You get to that point, you put on all this work, and then, you have 53 on a roster, and then you can stash 5 or 7 or something on a practice squad.
Good news is if they get cut this week, they might be able to go back to their former college and play and sign up in time to play for this season's college football season.
All right, here's our dad joke. What did the pumpkin say when it was surprised? What does the pumpkin say when it was surprised?
Shaco something.
I love that.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
To just have the right inflection on that.
Go Royals.
All right, put a smiley face someone else's. They deserve it. So do you. God bless. Thanks for listening, tuning in. We'll talk to you next week. Peace.
$10:50 a.m. and 102.9 FM and the SportsAnimalEugene.com. Broadcasting from the Bigfoot Beverages Studios. You're listening to The Drive on the Sports Animal Eugene.
Men like to get the most out of things. We expect results when we hit the gym, and we expect to finish our weekend to-do list. We also expect ourselves to never slow down, even when some things start to get a little harder. Low testosterone levels might be slowing you down.